So now here we are, working ourselves out with my father, who's a complete generation from us. I'm 25, Connor's 25. My father is older than us, obviously. No offense. He's my fucking father. Anyways.
Probably more than one generation.
Yeah, but more generation. So
we waited a long time to have you.
Right, yeah, exactly. You know, so we have
that's a good thing.
Right, exactly.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, take your time, man. Take your time.
We were talking about this
kids.
for a
So
while.
here we are. Yet to figure out a name, but we might have a name by the end of this podcast. So here we go, guys. It's June 1st, 2020, and we are in the midst, or pretty much approaching the end of this whole coronavirus kind of deal. So how do we all feel about that, huh? Let's start with you, huh?
Well, I think, this stuff comes up this is the worst year of my life, very honestly. This stuff has never happened in my lifetime, never like this. And, it could have been done better. Hindsight's always a great thing. But I think it's on the downside now. Let's knock on wood,
How do you think it could be done better?
Well, we could have done what other countries did and start to lock down immediately.
Right,
because this didn't come from China. In our country, it came from Europe. And we didn't lock down anything from Europe for a long, long time.
100%, yep.
And the problem is that when you have one person, you have 10 people, and now you have 120,000 people dead. And I'm at the prime age. Even though I feel myself at 69 years old in great shape. Yeah. I just look and say,
hey, cheers to that, man. Good for you.
No, but I'm just saying that you two guys are a little bit different. You probably get sick, but you're not gonna feel it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it goes right to the bottom line of like, hey, I don't want to die.
It's do or die. Yeah.
And I got better ways to die. I feel like I want to put in at least another 15 years. So it's one of these things where it sucks. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. There's nothing we could do about it. But the people in the government could have done something about it.
It's very true.
And they didn't.
It's true. Yeah.
But hindsight's great. It's great for all of us.
Down to a state perspective too. It originally started in Washington, right? Like in the U.S. Started in Washington.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like Oregon, for example. So Oregon just is right below Washington. They shut down immediately too, right? So that's why there's not many cases out there.
Yeah.
Right?
People don't realize this. It's a pain in the ass to wear a mask. It's social distancing. The 6 feet thing is kind of, people look at it and laugh. It works.
It does.
It works.
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
And it prevented.
True.
Look at Eastern Connecticut. Eastern Connecticut's got shit going on because there's a lot of there's a lot less population out here. But Connecticut kind of did it right. But we're right next to New York. New Jersey, Connecticut got hammered.
Right.
Okay, and it's like we're lucky it's a small state.
Right. And here's the thing, though. It could be with the casinos opening up and that being on the eastern part of the state. Who knows what will happen then? Hopefully, we keep it controlled because it seems like they're doing a good job. You saw it, right?
Like wildfire.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, they keep it in control. You saw that Mohegan Sun and Foxwoods were opening. I don't know. Is it just Mohegan?
No, it's both of them.
Both of them.
I think that's kind of a stupid move. But.
Well, I mean, they're doing it right though. And they're setting all the like the plastic and whatever in line. You know more about it.
The game. I'm optimistic they're going to do it right. Look,
hopefully,
the people that invest in those casinos and there's a hell of a lot of money. There's billions of dollars there.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to screw it up. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Only time will tell.
The thing I'm afraid about, I'm a sports fan, and not that I go to a lot of sporting events anymore, and I love concerts. I mean, you guys like concerts and music and shit. I used to go to a lot of concerts. I still go to a few every so often. I think concerts could be dead for a long time.
That's true.
Which really sucks.
Yeah. Any big
they already
big
canceled
venue.
almost every concert this year.
Yeah. My sister got me tickets to the Deftones concert. Like I think it was like end of June to this venue that was opening up in Bridgeport. They were the first show. Got canceled, man, because they canceled the whole tour and stuff. So, but going back to this whole coronavirus issue, Connor's dad actually and his brother were both diagnosed with it, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that right?
My dad had it for. Well, actually, I'm not sure if he still has it. He still has kind of like a cough.
How old's your dad?
My dad, that's a good question. I think he's 65. He's either 65 or 66. Okay. I'm not exactly.
No,
he's a little bit older.
He was a policeman, right?
Yeah, he's a policeman.
He's retired.
Yep, he's a retired policeman. Okay. He had me a little bit older. So him and my mom are about 12 years apart. Mom's a little bit younger. My dad's a little bit on the older end.
But he's okay now.
Yeah, he's all right now. But he for a while
he was rough, right?
Oh, wow.
Really bad.
What was his temperature? Right, it was like 103 something.
It was 103. I think it was 103.6.
That's crazy.
It was just insane,
right?
Well, temperatures like that in adults are very dangerous.
Yeah. So exactly. What actually ends up happening with the temperature is for this virus is that they've said heat doesn't kill it. So people get really high temperatures. It's your body trying to fight it off.
Yeah.
But the heat's not killing it, so your temperature just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up.
Really?
And it's just not killing it.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, so that's why you're getting.
Did you hear? Yeah. You heard that too?
Yeah, and also
really
part of what he's saying. They said your immune system's fighting it. That's why your temperature goes up. Mm-hmm. Okay. The problem is if the immune system starts to overheat, and it starts to it starts to kill good things in your body.
It's true.
It starts to go
it's
after good things that you don't want dead.
Right.
And that's been the problem with this thing too.
Really, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that we don't have a vaccine. It just came like from nowhere. We didn't have the time to prepare for it and stuff like that. I mean, it's very fortunate that living in the Northeast that we're on the down end of this.
It's out of our control. That's the way I look at it. It's out of our control. The three of us here, we can complain about it. We can do everything we want. We can have opinions.
Right.
It's out of our control.
It is.
I think the state of Connecticut's done a decent job.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I wouldn't say that maybe if I was a one-man barbershop going out of business.
It's very true.
I'd be pissed off right now.
That's very true.
But I feel and that's where the government should step in and keep those people. They should give those people continuous loans to keep them in business. It's not their fault they're going out of business. And I worry about people that start their own business because you got balls to start your own business.
Because you're grinding by for the first few years.
You're laying on your own money. You're taking out loans like a bastard.
Yeah.
You got all kinds of shit going on.
True, yeah.
You got to pay these things back. And then this shit happens? You didn't ask for this.
Imagine the stress.
Imagine
the stress.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that's why they have suicide hotlines are fucking...
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, really. I mean, I can only imagine because that is your livelihood. That's how you live. You make a living off that. If it's a sacrifice that you make, and just fucking this huge curveball comes in, fucking coronavirus that we've never seen in U.S. history in terms of like shutting down everything.
Look at you guys. You have a brother?
Yeah, I have a brother.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And you have a sister?
Yep.
And it's like, say me or his dad or something like that. We put every single bit of money we ever had, and we start to go under.
Right.
That means it starts to affect the family and everything else. You know how what that does to your head?
Right. Well, it's like it's not only you have that stress, then you have the stress of okay, I don't want to get this shit. First of all, then you start thinking of like survival at that point. You know what I mean? Like you're getting by. You're like stress already depletes your body's health in a way too, and you start stressed about the.
But you know what? When I was your guys' age, I felt invincible.
Oh,
the last thing on my mind was death.
Yeah, 100%.
I see. Like I wear masks and all that for I don't want to get anybody else sick.
Yeah, it's like a courtesy.
That's right.
And another thing too we've talked about this too. I think is they should require gloves. Shouldn't they require gloves? I mean,
I think
a lot
so.
of it's.
I mean, it's another precaution.
They have said that a lot of it isn't surface transmitted. It's a lot of it's by.
It's very difficult.
It's by like very close.
No, it is. It's like you said though. I wear the mask so you don't get sick.
Yeah.
But I wear the gloves so I don't get sick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when I touch your doorknobs and everything down, I don't trust it.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, hey, shout out to all those essential workers, man. We really appreciate you guys doing what you can. We realize it's a difficult time,
And I was just talking to my wife today. It's like, imagine going to work and confronting dying people every day.
How exhausting that is.
For friggin' 16 hours a day.
Yeah,
I mean, I couldn't imagine that shit. I'd come home, I was so freaking depressed to be like.
Oh, no, man. Just like, imagine that. Just, I mean, well, here. Just look at the exhaustion rate of like being a police officer. So your dad was a cop, right?
Yeah.
He probably was fed up.
27 years?
27 years.
27
was he a cop?
He was a Harvard cop. Harvard downtown cop.
That's a real cop.
That's a real cop.
Yeah.
That's a real cop.
My dad has had some. I mean, he's told some stories. He doesn't like to get into like the war stories and all that. Kind of keeps him to himself a lot.
Right.
He like we've talked about this. My dad's very religious. My whole family's not very religious. My grandparents aren't religious, so he kind of I think he kind of like turned to religion through like stuff that he's seen.
It's kind of like an escape or like a sense of faith. Gives him security.
And I don't. I'm personally not very religious. We were raised Roman Catholic. I went to like CRE. I went to like church every Sunday.
Right.
Did all of that, and my dad kind of let me when I got older say like you choose for yourself if you're religious or not.
Right.
Me personally, I'm not. I mean, but I can respect that he found that and it made his life better. So
no, exactly. I'm not religious. I'm saying I was raised a Catholic. I was an altar boy. All this other stuff. Went to a Catholic grammar school. I'm basically on the edge of being an agnostic atheist. But you know something? I have tremendous respect for people who are religious.
Of course.
God bless your dad. And it's one of those like I wish I could believe in something like that. I really do, but I can't.
Same.
But
the same.
It's good. It's good for the morality of it. The reasoning for it. It's when the politics come in, like who's enforcing it. It's who's enforcing it. It really gives it like a bad name.
The way I look at religion is I mean I've read a lot of the Bible. I've actually read like quite a bit of the Bible. I've read like
good for you, man.
And so the thing I've taken from it, I guess, is like a lot of it to me seems it kind of plays on like insecurities of the human nature, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like. Yeah. What's our biggest like insecurity? I'd say it's like the fear of the unknown. Like what happens when you die? What happens to your loved ones when they die?
Without a doubt.
That happen. That's I don't know. For me personally, it seems like it's very much trying to like play on those emotions.
It's like a safety blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Like but the thing is, like the problem with safety blankets, in my opinion, is that I think it's better to just be like practical about everything. It's better to know like.
Well, there's religions from all over the world too that have totally different like ethics and principles and stuff like that. I mean, but I think it should be. When it comes down to human nature, everybody knows that it's not right to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to read a book because of that or have to follow like a whole faith or religion because of that. You know what I mean? It should be coming off of like human instinct and a sense of, societal like belonging and stuff like that.
You know how I lost it?
You know what I mean?
It was basic stuff. I looked at kids getting molested,
right.
Kids dying of cancer. A child should never die.
Right.
Okay. And all this other bad shit happening. It's like I used to say, it's God's will. The nuns would tell me. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, as a human being, I can't. I know this. I can't comprehend it. I'm stuck as a human being. I can go this far, and it's like I'm sorry, but
and
that's
sometimes you know what it is, man. It just unfortunately comes down to the luck of the draw too.
Yeah, but we all try to be good people. We try to live our lives as good as we can. To me, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just the scope of what's good and what's bad that really gets distorted.
I think it comes
society,
down to is people can take what they want from things. There was one story. There's one story in the Bible. I, for the life of me, can't remember exactly like what section it was.
Right.
But it was basically about a farmer who has, he's just a really respected farmer. Mm-hmm. Just a family man. He has had his farm for years, and basically God and the devil are having a conversation, saying, and the devil is saying to God, "Hey, if we take all of these these things away from him, mm-hmm. he won't
I think this was Job. I think this was.
It might be Job. Yes. Yes, you're right. It is. It is Job.
Nice.
Yeah, he's with it. Yeah. And he was, he was talking about. I lost my train of thought all the time.
No.
So he was talking to God. Satan was talking to God and saying, "If we take everything away from this man, he won't praise your name." And God was saying, "Well, I think you're wrong." So God was basically in a war almost with Satan, saying,
right.
He keeps taking things from him and he's still praising him, and then a
faith.
lot of people people can take different ideas of that and say, oh well, that's really wrong of God to do, which I personally think too is like that's wrong of God. Like I don't want to praise a God that would do that to a good man, right? But you can also look at the other side of it as like if that didn't happen, like how would we know like how far the human nature can go,
like capabilities.
I mean, I don't know.
The endurance of our nature.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I've never read that, but from what I'm getting, that is essentially the whole cliche of not selling your soul to the devil type shit.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Like you lose like your land and stuff, but you still have the faith.
See, like I can't look past anything else other than
some people just look at it as face perspective, like face value.
Like your father was saying too, as kids dying of cancer. It's like how can you look past what it is of just a kid dying of cancer? How can you look past that?
Sometimes you just it's
really just especially if it's your kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's easy when it's someone else's kid.
It's sometimes you just got to simplify things. Like the way nowadays, like especially with like technology and just advancing like fucking tenfold, just so fucking fast. Like we have so much of this information just swelling our brains, but we have, in order to live healthy, a lot of the time you just got to live simple. Sometimes you just got to clean that out, filter it out, and take bits and pieces with time. That's the whole thing with social media. It cuts that whole window of time and understanding like giving us perspective of things. You know what I mean? Like, so social media, you can scroll through Twitter, get a million perspectives and stuff, and feel a range of emotions based on what you see on Twitter. You see, like an opinion from a politician that you disagree with, and then you got like your friends commenting and stuff like that, and you feel all these emotions, like this wave of emotions. But that, for that window, that time frame is so quick, but you achieved so much knowledge and perspective within that time frame. I don't think that's healthy. You know what I mean? That way of communication, like that way of just being bombarded by so much fucking intel.
No, it's healthy.
You know what I mean?
Respect each other as human beings. I work with a guy, this guy Lee I talk about.
Yeah.
And I'll be glad to say his name because he's a great guy. I work with him. He's an ultra Trump guy. Ultra, I'm not. I'm not a left-wing ultra, but I think the guy's an asshole. So we argue for like a minute.
Right.
No shit, a minute, then we go drink beer and laugh our ass off.
Right.
Because that's the way it should be.
Yes.
In other words, life goes on. You have your life,
right,
which is the most important thing. You have your health, which is obviously there.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like this fucking shit of arguing about stuff like that. It's great to be opinionated. It's great to argue about it, but it's entertainment.
Yes.
And after what, you got to leave it. I'm going to tell you one thing. You got people out there that sit there and they wring their hands around. They got problems.
Yeah, man. Like it's that's your whole life. You just revolve around politics, and it's like a team. You know, like this is my team. Whatever this team says. Some people are just that like simple-minded about that, like politics and like that. It's like whatever my team says, I'm for it. And if they're against, you know, the left or whatever, I'm all for it. You know?
It's like, God bless you. Your dad's 65. He sounds like he's gotten older. He's in good health and everything else. My dad died when I didn't even graduate high school. He was 49. 49. He died. So then it's like, oh shit, didn't see me graduate high school, didn't see me go in the service, everything else. I got over it. Then I got divorced. I was homeless. I was bankrupt. I had to drop out of college. That pissed me off. And I had to go on. And then a year or so ago, and he knows my brother, Tom. My brother read 8 million books. I hate to read. He read 8 million books on any subject. He dies of dementia, of all diseases. Dementia. Didn't know
God bless Tricky.
Yeah, didn't know where he was. Didn't know who he was, and I'm looking at my brother saying, "Here's a guy that read everything. I hated to read, and this is not fair." And I have to go through all this shit, and I've been through other stuff. But the whole point is, I'm not going to do the woe is me thing because life goes on, and I have my own family. I have 2 kids. I have a wife.
Yeah.
I think I have it pretty damn good right now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like it's all relative.
It is relative.
And it's like, you know,
and some people don't know. Like, I mean, let's look at you know, politicians and stuff, and the families who are well off. Like generations from generations, they don't understand that lifestyle. They don't understand those ins and outs from that perspective. You know what I mean?
I feel you. My grandfather actually died of dementia as well.
Right.
I think I've told you a little bit about my grandfather.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And on my mom's side, and just a really, really hard life, man. Just a really hard life. He was in World War II. Mm-hmm. You know, he was on I don't remember the exact full story, but he was in the Navy, and his boat got like blown up, and he had to swim to shore, and he comes back from the war. He's just really like, he has so many kids because like him and I think so, like what we
this
think
is your mother's side, right? How many? Your mother?
They had 9 brothers and sisters. My mom had 9 brothers and sisters, and my mom was the youngest of all of them. Yeah. So my mom's mom died when my mom was 2.
Right.
So that was right when he was, right when he got out of the war.
Yeah.
They had, he had like a few more kids, and then his wife died, which is my mother's mother, and he was already just a raging alcoholic from the war. Just really, and I don't know. It's just like the same, like you said. It's just like how is all of this fair? Like he had such a hard life. I don't know. That's how I try to see it. Because
some people are just born with the luckiest hands, dude. I mean, they're just born with a good hand. That's it, man.
Yeah. You know something? A guy like that, it's like, just think how hard his life was.
Yeah.
Just we think our life's been hard. It's like we ain't seen shit.
Right.
Compared to a guy like that. So it's like you look and you say, well, he's an alcoholic. So what?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
That could probably be the least of his problems,
a lot of there's some people in my family that never really forgave my grandfather for that, because I have so many uncles and aunts. I can barely even fucking remember their names.
Right.
There's so many of them. Right. But some of them they just never got over it. My mom, dude, my mom is a saint, dude. Like, she's amazing. And she knows all of it. Like, she got over all of it. She's like, I don't, right when she was dying, we would all go visit him. I was pretty young at the time because my family's a little bit older.
Right.
And so I was kind of young when he was dying. He died when he was 76.
Yeah.
And I was probably about 8 or 9. And we would go visit him in the was it the nursing home kind of he just could never remember. He could barely remember my mother's name.
That's very unfortunate.
Even at a young age, I knew. Even at a young age,
awful,
my mom would never let me see that.
Yeah,
that she was upset about it. But
dude, that when you're a kid, your childhood should be the greatest time of your life.
Yeah,
as a kid, regardless at age.
That was the first time in my life that I saw my mother I knew it was killing her, dude. Could you imagine your own father, everything you know about you, does not remember your name?
Well, here, let me generalize this.
But even though, I just want to finish.
Yeah.
Even at 8 or 9 years old, it's tough to comprehend that stuff.
Right.
It is.
It really is.
You're not mature enough.
I could barely.
Your mind is on haywire. First of all, you're just aging. You're trying to figure out, what am I doing in this world? And that's happening. It's like, what's going on? Is that normal? That kind of stuff going on. But to generalize it, it's all a matter of if we're to take a step back. Let's look at the convenience of. Let's look at how. Would you say here? I'll ask you guys this question, right? When it comes to now to living in American stuff, do you think people are essentially spoiled in that sense? They don't understand how good they have it. How do you guys feel about that? In terms of perspective, do you think that some people are a little too sensitive nowadays? Maybe.
You know what? Maybe. I think I've been to a lot of countries around the world, and there are a lot of great countries. I met great people. This is still the greatest country I've ever been in. Mm-hmm. I live here. Right. And the thing is that, and we've talked about this. The thing about this country, is if you want to, you can do anything you want.
Truly, yeah.
There are some countries where, I don't mean communist countries. I mean, in places like Germany and Italy and stuff, you're kind of programmed to be your direction.
Yeah.
There's no program here.
Yeah.
You can do any friggin' thing you want. Look at the Kardashians. You could have no talent and be millionaires. It's like you can't do that anywhere else. You can't do that anywhere else.
It's true, man.
That's what makes this country great.
And you know, we feed into that though. So I'm just going back to the whole simple. I'm looking at the audience though and stuff. Like in general, people. Do you think we're too sensitive with going back to bringing in the whole social media thing? We're too sensitive to this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I think what makes America for me is like what makes it hard to. I mean, not like hard to live in because like we have it pretty nice here.
Right,
like
right.
Your father said. He said it well. We have a lot of opportunity, man. It's a land of opportunity. But at the same time, I'd say that we move very fast. We're very fast paced, human beings in America because, and so like my grandmother before she died told me a story of someone she knew. They adopted two twins from I don't remember the full story. This was like a while ago, but they were like from a third world country, and basically one of the girls was like loved it here. Like she was like really like, oh, this like it's amazing in America. But her little sister was like, I can't adapt to this. This is like so fast paced. Like, and her little sister was, wanted to move back to a third world country.
Wow.
That's like because she couldn't keep up with the stress of
almost
how,
like it's security.
Yeah, and it's like so that kind of made me realize, yes, like we do have it really good here, but at the same time we are very fast paced. We are very like. We're always get up in the morning. We're
all about convenience,
really fast.
We built McDonald's,
we have to make a name
that's
for
all about
ourselves,
convenience,
Yeah,
we built stuff like that.
But you know what it also comes from? We have no history.
We don't.
Our country's less than 300 years old.
Right.
We're babies. You go to your country, China, 5,000 plus, Israel, 5,000. I mean,
ridiculous.
You go to these places and say, Jesus Christ, it's like 300 years. You go to Europe and there's a church that's 700 years old.
Right.
Very true.
So it's like we're friggin' base. So we have no history. Our history is what happened yesterday.
Yeah, we're building our history.
Yeah, exactly.
Democracy.
Yeah, right now our
Roman Empire.
Right now our history is in 2020.
We're the New Age Roman Empire.
Right now, if we want to look at history right now, I'm going to bring it to current topics. We're actually let's go to George Floyd, huh? What's going on with that? I mean, we got one man, right, who was unfortunately brutally suffocated by a police officer in Minnesota. I mean, bless George Floyd. That was a very, very unfortunate situation that happened. Now just look at the ripple effect of it. Look at it. I mean, we live halfway across the country from Minnesota, and we're seeing protests that are closing on highways where we live. That's what I mean. Let's look at the perspective of that.
I'm going to give you my 2 cents on
this.
Yeah,
no.
Okay. I have never been a big fan personally of police because I'm always in the wrong place at the wrong time and legitimately got my ass busted. Mm-hmm. And then as a kid, I'd be resentful. Fucking cop.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You know what it's like? It's like he works at the post office. He works in the federal system right now. Okay. The old going postal thing. In everybody's profession, I'm in sales. You work in the restaurant business. He works at the post office. There's about the same amount, police, firemen, but the same amount of bad apples. Yeah. The problem is that the George Floyd, you only hear about the bad ones.
Yes.
You never hear about the good guys.
Exactly.
You hear about the guy, you know what? And normally if you go back and look at the background of these cops, they were shitheads in high school. They were assholes. They wanted to be a cop because they wanted to bust somebody's ass. Yeah. Nobody should want to be a cop to do that. You should want to be a cop to uphold the law. You know something? If I break the law, throw me up against a fucking wall and arrest me. Right. Because I deserve it. Right, exactly. But you don't kneel on a guy's neck for 10 minutes and kill him.
Oh, without a doubt, man.
My dad actually had a really good story about this. Not this whole George Floyd situation, but he told me, I think I told you about this with Chris when Chris was talking about being a cop. Yeah. And so my dad was talking about this story about right when he first started to become a cop. Mm-hmm. And he was basically kind of not like a hothead, but kind of just, he was very he was very new to it all, and he went, this is back when like mandatory partners were kind of like around, and I'm not sure if that's around anymore because like I don't even know if they have Hartford bike cops anymore. My dad was a Hartford bike cop, but he
was
yeah, he was a Hartford bike cop for about 10 years, and right when he first started, he was being like kind of trained by this older man who was like about to retire, mm-hmm. and they went to like a house call. It was like just a domestic. It was about like somebody that they get calls for frequently, very like mentally challenged, right. And his family like called the cops and said, he was like just acting erratic and he was like going crazy, and these calls are really common. So they get there, and my dad is just immediately wants to be kind of aggressive with the man because he's just kind of like all over the place. He's a big dude, and like, and the guy was, and the guy who's been on the force for a while was like, hey, no, listen, like, this is like, I'll show you how to be a cop right now. And, he's talking to him about, just things that interest him. He was talking to him about, like, I forget exactly the whole story.
Settling the guy down and stuff.
Just starts talking to him about everything. Starts talking to him. Starts calming him down. They start talking. They start like, he's like, yo, sit down. So they all sit down. Their whole family, both my dad, him, they're all talking. They stay there. They're getting calls, like radio calls, and my dad's like, we have to. He's like, no, like, those can wait. Like, we're here right now. This is what's important.
That's the way to do it.
We don't need to, He's like, this is how you be a cop. You have the community trust you. You have people trust you.
You're serving the people. Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's my dad said that day was like, it was pretty new on the force, and so that's how you should, like. He's like, I knew it right then. That's how you should be a cop. You don't whatever is like right in front of you. You know.
Do you think your dad ever resented the way TV portrays cops? As he shoot them up? Friggin'...
Oh, definitely. My dad was never a like a gunslinger type of like.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I want to do it to
trying to be a badass.
Yeah. And if you ask him about his stories and all that, he never even tell, like, he would never even tell his stories about, like, I would hear them through my mother.
Right.
And every now and then she would like kind of spill something.
Right.
And like we would hear about him, but my dad would never tell like war stories of like, but like I know he's been like, he's been through it all, man.
Like you're not trying to be on like HBO.
Yeah, it's like
it's your.
I know it affects him because like the whole religion, man. Like I see it. Like, I can see it in him. Like our whole family is.
If we're gonna blow this up, right? Like this whole thing going from cops, it's also the military. And if I'm going to look at it, like if we can relate it to in terms of, we were talking about this on our previous podcast, America's fascination, or not maybe fascination, maybe just numbness to violence, and our susceptibility to buying into this perspective of, being The Rock and jumping through an explosion and just being totally immune to that, like, violence. It seems to just come so natural to, like, the American citizen. Do you agree?
Yeah, but I mean, when you see this stuff in the movies, we glorify getting a guy's head blown off.
Right. Yeah.
We glorify things like this. And the problem is that to me, and I hate to sound, I'm not going to sound like some friggin', guy on the top of the mountain talk. To me, that's fucking obscene. If you we never really censored a lot with you and your sister.
Right.
You played when you were like friggin' 8 years old. You were playing M-rated games.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't fucking. It's like, and you
weren't gonna be. That's make believe.
Well, first of all, I knew you knew the difference between reality and murdering somebody.
That's the thing. Some people don't. Some people don't.
But you know what?
It's very scary.
At a very, very young age, you should know that and have them get help.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like, I just look at the way we are now, and it's just like, why are we're so fucking violent and everything on TV, and people they think it's entertaining. You go to movies and stuff like that. Arnold with a big fucking gun with one hand, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Any cop would tell you can't fire a gun like that.
Yeah.
So it's like any guy in the military. So it's like, and kids get out of the movie theater and they actually think they get, I hate to use the word desensitized. It sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
It is very true.
You know what I mean?
It's very true.
And it's like like all of a sudden it's like, do you think this is cool?
While pornographic material and anything sexually related, God forbid we even expose anybody to that, right? So I mean, let's go to this.
Did we even have sex ed at high school? I don't remember if we did.
I did. I had sex ed. I had a Mr. Hellwig at sex ed. I'll figure out how to put a condom on. That was pretty much it. It's like, oh geez, and then you're left in your own hands trying to figure everything out. You know what I mean? It's like, we're talking about building lives and sexuality. We're not talking about killing lives.
I'm talking about going all the professions and stuff. All the pedophile priests are discovering now. Again, it's a small. You hear about them.
Right, bad apples.
When I was an altar boy, they were all Irish drunks.
Yeah,
they were old Irish drunks who get smashed.
Yeah.
Hear your confession, falling over, but they weren't trying to chase me around the altar.
Right.
It was a different time.
Right.
It was a different time.
Yeah, man.
So
So let's take this out, because I know you have experience in this because you travel overseas and stuff like that. And I talked to Connor about some of this kind of stuff, and let's just kind of hear it from firsthand perspective. So the differentiality between us to overseas, for example, like Europe or the Netherlands, for example, what's the difference in terms of the restrictions in the, what you can see?
Well, first of all, the AIDS changed everything. So that they actually took the forefront of that in Europe, getting people tested and everything else.
Okay.
But the sex business, okay?
Yeah, right.
Everywhere outside of this country, they've been eons ahead. Look, if you're some guy who's 72 years old or 52 years old and you weigh 560 pounds and you want to go get laid, listen.
I'm listening, man. I completely agree.
If you want to go somewhere and do that, that's your business.
Of course, man.
And when they call it a victimless crime, it's like, you're not victimizing me. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I don't care.
You're asking for it.
If you got a couple $100 in your pocket and you want to get laid, God bless you.
Right. Yeah. You earn that money.
Why do we, if you read in the Hartford Courant sometimes, they list all the guys that got their ass busted. It's like, how embarrassing is that?
Yeah.
There was a place in Providence, in Johnston, Rhode Island, right outside of Providence.
Yeah.
This guy was in there yanking it to a movie. There were cops in the what the hell fuck are the cops? They busted his ass. 2 days later, he committed suicide.
That is fucking awful.
He was a school teacher. He had a family. It's like he's in there jerking off. It's like, give me a break.
Well, first of all, it's fucking human behavior, man. You know,
you don't see this anywhere else. You don't see it anywhere else.
Right. Well, okay. So
the thing is, like I said, there's porn stores everywhere. Here, they close them all down. Yeah. Although you can any porn you want on the internet, that's fine. But the thing is that over there, like I said, the guy was screwing a pig. Big picture on the window on a Sunday. I'm walking with my backpack. I used to get some beers, walk around town, just like, and this. I'll never forget the picture of this grandmother, looked like with her grandson.
Yeah.
Walking by this guy with a big pig in front of him, porking the pig, and it's just like no pun intended. And it's just like her or the kid didn't stand there and go here. Imagine here.
Yeah.
Imagine here.
Yeah.
First of all, they'd arrest the guy, throw him in jail.
Yeah.
They'd look for the guy that's porking the pig, and they'd probably hang him.
Right.
It just bothers me. But if you showed a picture of an autopsy room where the guy stabbed 500 times, which I saw one time at a trade show, that's obscene to me, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's fucking brutal.
We'd love it. Whoa, look at this. This is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'd almost think it's fake.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's a good
dude,
point.
it's scary, honestly. It's scary. The restrictions of what we can and can't see in terms of like the entertainment. It's entertainment, you know?
Hey, I don't want my daughter to be exposed to that shit. But you know something? Like I said, I never censored what you guys did.
Right.
Because I thought, you guys are good. You know something? You're a product of the people you hang around with, your environment and everything else. I can't help that.
Yeah.
I can only try to do my best. And that's what everybody's parents do. Being a parent's the hardest job in the world. I'm going to tell you right now. That's why I waited until I was 41 to have his sister.
Yeah.
Because I was an asshole. I was hanging around drinking, partying. I was so freaking selfish. I didn't want kids. And my wife finally, when I married her, that's it. She gave me the ultimatum. Okay, 41 years old. It's the best decision I ever made, obviously, but it's the hardest job I ever did too.
I can barely take care of myself, man.
Yeah, but you're responsible for somebody else to a certain. Obviously, you guys are on your own now. But the thing is that it's like it's tough.
Yeah.
And here's your dad with an absolute high pressure job, raising a family, and having to go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hardest job, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
I can't imagine it. I can't imagine being a father.
Some people, you can't. You can only do so much, and you can't save. Like this guy Peter, this almost UConn grad, right? Well, what was going on with that? It seemed like he was on the straight and narrow, right? Like he was a bouncer, right? The bar that you used to go to, right? Yeah. So it's like
he raised $2,000 for the Sandy Hook kids. The Sandy Hook.
Yeah, he went to Newtown, right?
Yeah. The guy was a football player. The guy was a mechanical engineer. The guy was an honor student. He raised $2,000. It shows him there with the Husky mascot and everything. What happened? What happened?
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? You expose your kids. He was exposed maybe at a young age and stuff like that. And
I think it was just mental health.
Fine.
I think it was just bipolar, like
just,
extreme bipolar.
Just snapped.
I think it was like extreme bipolar.
You see what happened to his father in April.
Yeah. His father got arrested for
maybe that was part of it too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Sexual assault, right? For a young underage girl.
Feeding underage.
Yeah,
but I hate to think that that can cause you to be fucked up and not to kill two people.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
The second guy he shot was
It was like his friend.
It was a childhood friend.
In Derby, right?
Yeah, childhood friend. He shot him several times in the head. It's like, what the fuck?
You just kind of think. You have to think like what that line that you crossed. What made you do that?
None of us can figure out.
It's very
that kind of shit.
Yeah, and you think that just comes naturally, like regardless of if you censor people or not. Do you think?
I think some people, like you started saying before, I think part of it is people censor too much. So my grandmother, like kind of like what you were saying to Brennan, was that you let him play video games and all that, and my grandmother let me drink at a young age, and I go over, we'd have like family parties and all that, and I was probably like 13, 12, 13. Right. She had our own wine cellar. We'd be like drinking some wine.
My dad would feed me wine.
Yeah, so like we'd be drinking all that, and then when I got to like high school, I don't know if you remember me, I didn't drink in high school, dude. I never drank anything in high school. Like, I would here and there, I'd be like, go to a party, I'd be like, I'll have a beer or two. That's about it. You know,
you
whatever.
experienced it, and you're like, okay, it's nothing special.
And
it's like it's the same kids who are like high honor students in high school who, you know,
dude, look at the frat kids. Like,
oh my god,
the parents that shelter them so hard. They go to college. They have their parents are gone. They're like, oh, I get to finally drink. Like, pound.
You don't just have 1, 2, 3 beers. You have the whole case.
You know, pouring them in your ass, like everything. You know?
It's true, man.
It's true, man. It is,
shit, man. It's true.
It's crazy. So like, if you censor people too much, they're going to once they experience the feeling of alcohol, they're going to say, or whatever it is, they'll be like, wow, like I love this. Now I'm going to make it all up, you know, make all up for it.
That just goes for anything. And that goes to the whole human curiosity. You tell somebody not to do something, guess what they're going to do? They're going to fucking do it or find a way to do it. No matter how hard you make it, you know.
I think like if
there's a will, there's a way, man.
If you have a kid, that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm not, I'm not a father. I don't know what it's like to be a father, but if I have a kid, I'm gonna tell him, you know, look, like you're not gonna die from smoking weed, and drinking alcohol here and there is not gonna kill you. You know, don't drink and drive, but you know, you can drink at parties. You have
to give them just a realistic approach and not try and scare them. If you make something seem so mystic and surreal, people are going to be attracted to it.
I don't know of anybody that was underage that didn't have a few beers.
Of course.
I'm sorry. It was a rite of passage.
True,
it doesn't make you an asshole. It's just a rite of passage.
And unfortunately here in America, you have to be 21 to go to war. Be 18.
True.
Very unfortunate in that sense.
Luckily, though, I got stuck when I went to in basic training in 69 and everything else. The place I went to in Mississippi was 18 years old, was drinking age.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever got absolutely hammered. Yeah. And it was fun. I have to say, I didn't have any regrets.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a man who enjoys alcohol. I mean, I'm not an alcoholic or anything, but I enjoy coming home and just having a beer, having some drinks.
You have every right to.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
you have every right to.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody can really prevent that. You know?
And you know what? It's like you say. You know, some people are over the top alcoholics. Some are secret alcoholics. Some people are this, that, the other thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's their own personal demon. I'm not going to counsel somebody.
Right.
The whole point is like I enjoy booze too. It's like, you know, I know people like my wife. She's got one vice and she smokes weed and stuff.
Yeah,
but you know the whole point is that, you know something? It's like I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
She's a great mother. She's been great to the kids and everything else. I love her and everything else. And so it's like I drink. That's what I like to do. You know, I tried smoking weed in my 20s and stuff like that. It put me to sleep. Yeah, but it's much stronger now.
Yeah,
I hear.
Oh, without doubt,
it's
man, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah. It's like, you know something? It's like, give me a beer, give me a joint. I'm gonna drink a beer.
Here's the thing. Like, so I graduated with a degree in psychology and minored in like sociology and shit. And one of my professors said he was aside from being a professor of sociology, he was actually a therapist, like a social like helper with people with, you know, substance abuse issues. And he said, I remember this one time, I'll never forget this. He said, you have no right. Like, it's up to the person, that individual, to determine if it's a problem or not. You can't point the finger and say, you're an alcoholic. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's up to being an alcoholic. That person has to understand and witness that it is interfering with their life. There's one person A, who can have a 6-pack every night and be totally fine, get on to work without having any problems and live a straight life with their family. Whereas person B drinks a 6-pack a night and ends up fucking, you know, kicking their dog, beating their wife and shit like that. It all depends on how it affects your life.
My dad was 2 beers.
True. It's the result of that, you know. It's not the volume of how much you drink. Like, okay, you've had 3 shots, you're a fucking alcoholic, you know what I mean? It's all of how it affects your life, and if it negatively affects your life, then you got to start thinking about it. But if you are fine and you are living life and it's not a problem to you, nobody has any right to say that it's a problem to you. It's up to for you to decide that. I mean, I'll never forget that. The professor was like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty reasonable." It sounds, you know, obviously, but I mean, you know, you can't expect to, you know, okay, that means I could get by, you know, having fucking,
you know, I
should drink a 6-pack every fucking night.
When it sucks to me too, and I used to fall for this whole deal before I was a parent. When somebody say, "It's the people you're hanging around with," bullshit. It's you. It's like if I like at my age now, I can't drink a 6-pack anymore. I used to be able to drink 2 12-packs, hang out with my guy. No, really.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it comes with age. As you get older, it diminishes. And the thing is that, but I never could sit there and say, yeah, it's the people I'm hanging around with. Yeah, if it wasn't for them, I'd be a real fucking saint.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
It's you personally. You make that decision.
You chose to hang out with them, man. Yeah.
No matter what you do, it's not the people you hang out with, because you do have a choice to say, nah, not me today. Not today.
Of course, man.
I'm all set. You know.
Without a doubt, man.
I think that's where a lot of like the maturity comes into it. Some people will pass blame and say, well, my alcoholism is because of my friends when I was younger. It's like, no, it's dude, it's you. You could have fucking changed that when you were younger. You could have said, I want to hang out with good people. I hang out with like-minded individuals.
But I mean, in the end, you have the final decision.
Yeah.
Regardless, that goes to anything, man.
Yeah.
that goes to anything.
See,
you have the final
one
decision.
thing, and that's the thing. Booze, they blame it for people becoming violent. First of all, I never could understand violent people. I've never been a violent person. First, I'm 5'6", 145. But the thing is that I've never understood that. Like I told him, when I was younger, getting in an argument with a girlfriend, I'd punch a phone booth and break my hand and go to the emergency room. I'd smash a windshield on a car with a baseball bat. I never, ever wanted to harm human beings and never did.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand people that have a few beers in them and then will smack
There's
somebody.
just like underlying
They'll look
issues,
for
yeah.
somebody to smack.
Yeah.
They're the guys that go in the
underlying
bar
issues.
and try to get in a
we've
fight.
seen, we've seen people like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Everybody,
it's a,
yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with
yeah,
these
it's
people?
something
Yeah.
that you're bound.
How come you
it's
just
something
can't
deep
have a
down,
good time?
Yeah.
It's honestly deep down. It's going back to like the whole like going back to high school. It's low self-esteem. You don't feel assured.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. You don't feel assured
Like
of
this
yourself.
Manfredonia
you
guy
have to-
though, a good-looking kid, big dude.
Yeah.
What was
Fucking
his
big, man.
problem?
Right. But I mean, I mean, that's different. There's always an underlying problem, man. No matter what. I mean, regardless if it's obvious or not. Like with him, it was not obvious clearly, but he clearly had some. I mean, maybe it could have been obvious. I didn't know him, but
I talked to him like once, and
Yeah.
very normal. But you can't
you
tell
would have
with
never
people.
thought that. Like,
Yeah,
So
of course
both of you
not.
guys saw
this
this guy in a bar.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked to him a little bit, just like tiny little bit. That's about
Yeah.
it. But
I
very
mean,
normal.
The guy's
very-
6'3", 240. He's frightening. That's a
Yeah.
big
big
guy.
dude,
he's a-
man.
he's
And
a
no wonder he was a
big dude.
bouncer, man.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about all this whole SpaceX thing going on? Musk. How do you feel about that? SpaceX that launched this past weekend, Saturday, right?
You know what's cool about it? Our tax dollars pay for NASA. And I love NASA. NASA's cool. I grew up with it, moon landings, all blah, blah, blah. But this is a private company
Right.
that's
SpaceX.
being funded differently.
Does Tesla own SpaceX or SpaceX owns Tesla?
Tesla, Elon Musk owns SpaceX.
Okay.
It's a private company. And it's a public company. It's traded public.
Okay.
Okay. But the thing is, this is the way we should do things. This is the way it should be done. Not, if we were going to go to Mars and shit, like this is the way it should be done.
Yeah.
But before it was like, we took the military and the military molded into NASA and it was all taxpayers and everything else.
Right, right.
Okay. Yeah.
If Elon Musk wants to do this and wants to make billions doing it, freaking great.
What is, I don't know anything about it. Like, so what is his whole like mission to go out there? It's just, he just wants to be
He's
out
just
there
an
and-
entrepreneur.
Right.
He's a brilliant guy
Yeah.
who invented this massive battery for his Tesla cars. Goes 400 miles on a charge.
Right.
Nobody else has something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. His big thing was that. And then SpaceX, he saw what was going on and he's saying, you know something? For 10 years, we haven't done shit in space.
Yeah.
We have to go up in old friggin' 1950 style Russian coffee cans
Right,
to go
right,
up there. He got tired of it. So this fucking thing, it went flawless, right?
Yeah.
This is another thing. American ingenuity. Nobody can touch us. If somebody wants to put their
very
head,
true,
and it includes you two guys.
Yeah.
If somebody else came up
agree.
with an
I can agree with
idea
that.
and everything else,
True.
you can run with it in this country.
Yeah.
That's very true.
You can run with it.
Nobody's gonna hold you back. I mean,
Well, think about if Elon Musk was born somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a lot more. Maybe his life would be
Yeah.
completely different.
it's like if he was born in something where like the government would want to like benefit off him. I'm thinking kind of like maybe some Asian countries or something like that. If he's born in Korea, they would kind of like want to put their name on it too, and do you think
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Like their society kind of behind it. Like it's not just him. They're more. I'll put it this way. They're more like collectivistic. We're more individualistic. We orient the importance of individuality in this country versus the community in other countries.
Hey, when Elon
what I
Musk,
mean?
it's like Jeff Bezos, the guy that owns Amazon. They said he's probably going to be the first trillionaire in the world.
It's fucking crazy.
Within 15 years, he's going to be a trillionaire within. You know something? I don't give a... It's like, you know something? God bless you. You're the guy that thought of the idea. You're the guy that revolutionized how you buy something. I can't tell you the last time I went and bought something at a store. I buy everything on Amazon. Look at all the stuff sitting at this table.
man.
Yep.
It's like, so Amazon is just phenomenal. And God bless the guy if he becomes a trillionaire because it's his idea.
And
he's the guy that he ran with it.
And he earned it.
And I didn't.
And he earned it, man.
And you know something? I don't envy a guy
That's
like that. I don't envy a guy like Bill Gates that invents software.
Well, because you were given the same opportunity.
I do get, like I said, I do get
Essentially,
pissed
kind
when
of.
talent. I don't envy DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and these people. They're great actors.
Right.
And it's like I don't envy. I get pissed when and this comes with our country being allowed to do anything you want to, making money on being talentless.
It's true, man.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what the
Well,
fuck?
you see, I mean, you don't get this perspective, but you probably know about people like, like YouTube fanatics. Like people get paid to be whatever on YouTube. like what, like Logan Paul. Do you know who Logan Paul is?
I know who Logan Paul is.
Yeah, they have like their own. They have their own like YouTube.
Kind of like the Kim Kardashian of YouTube.
Right.
But they get advertisers.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how you make your money.
Yeah.
Because advertisers will buy into whatever. It's like, if it's negative attention, well, it's still gonna get our name out there.
Still attention, man.
Of course, I'm gonna invest in that. Like
negative, positive. If it's attention, it's
exactly
it's good for you. And
people don't realize
people are gonna check it out.
Most sports people, they make their money on endorsements, not on their salary for what they do for a living.
Yeah.
LeBron James makes a ton of money. And I got to tell you, I'm going to segue in a little bit. A guy like LeBron James should be held up to anybody. I don't care if it's black kids, white kids, whatever, as a success story.
Yeah.
LeBron James knows what he's doing. He's a great athlete. He's a world-class, best basketball player in the world. And some people would argue about that.
I agree.
But then he's a great businessman as well. Magic Johnson, these guys. Yeah. So when people talk, when little black kids are saying, "Hey, I need a role model," look to these guys not because they were fabulous at what they did as a living, but now look at the businessmen they are. Look at what they've done with their
somebody
lives.
like Jay-Z, for example.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z
I envy that guy. I would want my kids to be like that guy.
I envy him for his wife, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Beyonce.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, well, that goes without saying, but I'm just saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I look at these people, and it's like, I look at these guys and say, man, you came up with an idea. It's like what's his name? Simmons, the Def Jam guy. They came up. This goes back into the first rap records and stuff
like 80s, 90s.
But he
Jam
started the
records.
whole deal.
Yeah,
he started it, and it's like, God bless him, man. It's like, this was your idea. I didn't think of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. It's American innovations and our drive to. We have the capability to do that. Apple, Steve Jobs, and everything. All these entrepreneurs. We have that. Yeah. We are given the best opportunity. But it's not for everybody, But you certainly have the best.
Hey, look
best
at this.
opportunity to do.
We can
stuff
say
like
any
that,
friggin' thing we want. We can't threaten somebody.
Of course, yeah.
And somebody's not going to beat the door down and arrest us.
I don't know with these riots going on. I don't know.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying that in some countries they could do it.
So you can't say shit. And
right.
That's there's positives, and negatives to having freedom of speech, but at the end of the day, it's like your father said, you get to say whatever you want, and that means a lot. That really means a lot.
Here, let's go back to the question at hand, though. So we're going back to Elon Musk, right? Yeah. Elon Musk in general and stuff like that. What do you think his whole mission is? It like outside? So go out in space.
He's a businessman.
He's a businessman, but what do you think his goal is in terms? Like
his goal is to take his ideas and make humanity better.
True.
I'm simplifying it, but he's got this thing now to build tunnels under Los Angeles.
Okay.
That these tunnels would move on a technology that he invented.
Right.
That would move at hundreds of miles an hour to transport people.
Do you think there's negatives that come into that, right? That come into wanting to simplip life to that extent?
So we're talking about like the whole convenience thing. Like
would you say that there's negative to that, right?
Well, look at what we've done with cell phones.
Yeah.
It's.
I think with convenience comes.
Yeah. It's security and comfort.
Well, I mean, like we've said before, at what point, do we say like we're content? I don't think ever, because it's in our we're programmed to want to be better than what we are. So of course we're going to,
and for our survival too.
So like at what point are we going to be content? Like never. So like at what point will we not just be robots? Fucking. Yeah. Nazi robots,
Well, here's the thing, right? So give me, the
master race of robots.
So speak of like your whole. I kind of touched on this with you, but it's Elon Musk's perspective when he was talking to Rogan about his whole opinion on robots and like the ingenuity, like innovation and stuff. When we reach a certain point, right? Reach a certain point building the robots. What did Musk say?
About AI creation?
Yeah,
he was. So he was talking about, I think I told you about this, right? With the medulla oblongata in the back. He was saying they were trying to replicate with the part of the stem of your brain that connects memory and like basically what you remember about your life. Yep. So they were basically replicating that into an AI robot that you could essentially download whatever you've like seen and like felt in your life. Well, maybe not felt, but like remember in your life.
Yeah.
Into basically like another
a hard drive
life, so you can kind of die and then be reborn into a robot with the same memory. Yeah, it's
all right. Although what's like that though. We were talking about the IBM Big Blue that was invented that can beat any chess master in the world, because every single move that's ever been invented in the world, every single is downloaded into that PC. It's impossible to beat them. I mean, on a PC, a computer.
Well, because
impossible to beat them.
Yeah. So
that's one way of what you're talking about. It's the memory. Yep. But that's real small.
We're trying. What Musk was saying was that eventually we could potentially just
be obsolete.
Humans
can be obsolete.
We will build this AI that sees us more essentially as a liability.
Yeah, exactly. And what you were saying before is that like we constantly strive to be better. So like, there's going to be a point where we're not better than robots. So why don't we just all become robots? Why not? Because like they're better than us. Like,
because there's essentially no human error.
Who's going to fix the robot? Another robot?
Right. Exactly.
Who's going to design the robot? Another robot?
That's what I'm saying. But here's what I'm saying. If we get to that point, though, is what I'm saying. So, on the flip side is you can't measure things like consciousness. You can't measure things like emotion. It's not something you can gauge. You can't value it and then put it in a hard drive and bring it somewhere. What you said was, actually, I just thought about this. Like you can maybe essentially download memories into a hard drive, just remembering, okay, this happened, right? But there's no emotion behind that. Like you just remember the memory, but you don't remember how you felt. You don't remember what went behind that, the whole story. Like
emotion can't be programmed.
It can't. Of
course not.
That's the thing.
It's a completely spontaneous thing.
That's what makes us fucking human.
But animals, even though we say they don't have emotions, they have emotions.
Oh, of course.
And so we have
maybe
emotions.
Not as complex.
It's spontaneous. If something happened to me, it could bring me to tears. It can make me really happy. A robot can't do that. A robot will never be able to do that. That's what sets us apart. Yes, robots already, years and years ago, can compute better than we can.
Yeah.
Far better than a human can.
That's for the convenience of it, that it takes out human error. You know? Because a lot of human error, because sometimes, okay, so if you're working an assembly line, right, and there weren't robots, for example, say you have a bad day, you're not as efficient maybe because you have a bad day, you got a lot of stuff going on in your head. Robot doesn't have a bad day ever. It just goes in and does the same exact job every single time. You know what I mean? There's no human error.
With that logic, wouldn't down the road when we create robots, why wouldn't an employer just have robots instead of human beings?
Well, you work in automation.
Yeah, but those were limited.
Right.
A robot goes to mount the tire. A robot goes to mount the robot welds it. That's rudimentary.
It's a simple job, shit. And it probably saves people for safety hazards too.
Yeah.
But what if in the future we have robots that can, do everything we can but way better?
That's the thing, man. I mean, I don't know. That's something that's like
they already can.
Thinking,
they already can do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just even a cell phone.
Yeah, but take a look at this. If you're an artist, and I have no fucking talent to play a musical instrument or anything, but if you're a computer and you make this beautiful painting, it's like there's no soul to it.
True. Right.
There's
exactly.
no heart
true.
to it.
You like there's something like. We have this up here, but then you have that gut feeling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have that emotion when it comes to relationships or like a sports, if you're watching sports or like you hear a song, like a piece of art, you know what I mean? You hear a song and you feel something. A robot just hears the song. It's like, oh, that was a great symphony because it had blah, 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 blah. It looks at the metrics of it.
Well, they even say that to my days. So vinyl. Oh, vinyl was the best because you got the best sound as long as you didn't scratch the shit out of it. And you got, but you could hear all the hisses and pops when the guy made the recording in the recording studio.
Yeah.
That's part of human error. That's
very true.
Then when you cleaned it up with CDs, and now you clean it up with
it's like auto tune.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like it's this perfection.
Yeah,
music was meant to be like a
raw.
Exactly.
It's raw, man.
That's the word.
It can't be something that it's like teeny bopper music. I mean, I guess, there's music for everything, right? Like there's casual music that's easy listening and stuff like that. It's good background noise and stuff like that. A lot of good artists, great artists and stuff like that. It's they're passionate. You could feel what they built. It's their art. It could be their diary if you're a fucking vocalist or something like that. That is your raw emotion coming out, bleeding it out on a page and portraying it to the world. This is how I feel. Some people who like those songs can relate to those songs and stuff like that. I don't think a robot could do that, but I do agree with you in a sense where I think we are going to keep going. I mean, you look at it in terms of convenience. If I'm at Stop and Shop buying groceries, I'm going straight to the self-checkout and essentially just like for the convenience of it and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It takes the whole human error, and I don't think we're going to stop that anytime too soon.
Well, it's in our nature to want to be better. That's how we got to this point.
Right.
It's through evolution gave us intelligence.
Well, it's the whole tipping point of like, I know it's a fictional movie. You've never seen Ex Machina, right?
I don't think so.
Ex Machina. You saw Ex Machina, right? It gets to the point where you really, really have high-end AI and stuff like that, but there's always an underbelly to that kind of
but look at it this way. Just look at the simple conversation we're having right now. Robot couldn't do that. It could do that if you had programmed it to be very narrow in its focus.
And we can have this conversation because we've had experiences. These experiences, we retrieve them.
And any experiences a robot has had is not its experiences until it starts to say, okay, now I did this, now I did this. But then it comes to the point when a human could say, yeah, I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in this. Can a robot do that? Can a robot make that finite say,
that's true.
I'm not interested in this.
That's very true. It's not a part of their personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are born with a specific personality. Like some people are probably just geared just naturally through genetics to be really good mathematicians. You know, Steve Jobs, for example, or Bill Gates, for example, right? Brilliant guy. He could have been, you know, gauged in that, or just like gauged like genetically in that sense. Can you agree with that? And then on the flip side, he probably had the drive to just.
But look at what a robot would do. And I know I'm being very basic about this. You walk into a bar, you see a girl, she's an absolute knockout.
Right.
And then when you leave at night with your buddy, and you say, what happened? She's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And it's just like, are you kidding me? She's a fucking, you kidding me? How could you kidding me? You know, that's what humans do.
Yeah.
They look and they say, the first thing is physical. Wow.
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
Human attraction, yeah.
And then the next thing is, what an asshole.
Right.
And you walk out.
Yeah, that's the
and
whole,
it's just like,
right.
and many people have done that. We've all done that from one time or another.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is that.
No wonder the fucking Japanese are making sex dolls, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty shaky, man. That's
you know, hey, it's going back to the whole, you know, Joe Blow weighing 500 pounds instead of going to a prostitute. You don't have to worry about getting an STD. You just
you know something?
fuck a robot.
Unfortunately,
you know,
you and Connor will be my age, and it still won't change in this country. It still won't change.
In terms of what? What are you speaking of?
The sex trade. I'm hoping that at some point it becomes because just to get the tax dollars out of a prostitute, and they'll clean it up.
Yeah.
And everything else never change.
Yeah,
never change.
For some reason, it could be, you know,
it's a religious thing.
We're a very conservative society. You know what I mean?
And people don't realize that when they look at places like California and say, "Wow, this is so cool." No. You got to understand, we're a very conservative country. You hit it on the head. We're a very conservative country.
Well, if you look, I read on forums and stuff like that online, and from people who live, you know, an American will ask the question. People who don't live outside the U.S., like Germans or French people, what's your perspective of the U.S. political system? From their perspective in Europe, our political system is right-leaning, and then even more right-leaning. You know, even our liberal party is right-leaning to the Europeans' eye and stuff like that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take a quick break. We're just about to reach an hour right now. So
beer break?
Yeah, I'm just going to pause everything. We'll take a break and kind of settle in, guys. So hold tight.
Good.
Who wants to start off?
I'll give you my quick thing.
Doesn't have to be quick.
I'm a liberal Democrat, but I see everybody's right to own pistols for protection, hunting rifles, etc. I do not see the need for military weapons to be owned by my next door neighbor that are designed to kill 100 people in literally 10 seconds. That's a weapon that should be with the military or the police, period. That's why the police are normally outnumbered by the thugs, because they have Tech 9s, etc., that have more firepower than the cops have. Mm-hmm. That's real dangerous.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I wouldn't want to be a cop.
Yes.
So it's one of these things where
God bless your father, by the way.
and I'm for gun control only when it says gun control. No military weapons, and have a background check. If you're mentally ill, if you've been convicted of a crime, if you beat your wife, you should never own a weapon. Mm-hmm. Period. That's not bad.
Right.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah, it's okay. Basically you're just regulating it.
So that's my.
We've talked about, you know, I've talked about the 18 or older, kind of like right when you turn 18, your record will be expunged. You can go buy a firearm.
Yeah.
And you know they can have a very high criminal. You know,
talk about
growing up.
Go in depth on that. About that whole thing.
About what? Just
like being 18, like the whole process. So like
okay. Basically, you can have a extensive
just have a record essentially.
Yeah, and then when you turn 18, your record can be expunged because you turn 18. You're an adult now.
Because you were a juvenile.
Yeah, and right at that age, not only does your record get expunged, and it's like fresh slate. You can just instantly go buy a gun. And I mean, there has to, like, some people. Okay, so I come from a family, shotguns my entire life. Mm-hmm. You know, we've had guns our entire life. My father owns just God knows how many firearms. Like, even coming from that family, I still say we need strict gun control laws. I mean, when the amendment was made, it was made for
government tyranny.
Yeah, exactly. It was made for government tyranny, but it was also when we had muskets.
Yeah,
it was when we had we had muskets.
No
man.
standing army.
Yeah, like think about
we're a militia.
We've talked about the Las Vegas shooting and the bump stock.
Yeah, so go into that.
Yeah, so basically, what a bump stock a bump stock basically makes your rifle full automatic because it uses the recoil of the shot. It basically you just hold it to your shoulder and you press the trigger and the recoil is shooting the next shot. So you basically have a full automatic rifle.
Right.
And people will say, And I've actually shot a bump stock before.
Yeah.
And right when I shot one, I said, "This is just fucking insane. Like this is an automatic rifle." Like and people will say, "Oh well, gun control, gun laws don't need to be changed because it's my amendment right." But these things need to happen, right? Because why would the Las Vegas shooter? Why would he? Why did he use a bump stock? Because he couldn't get a full automatic rifle because they're outlawed. Because we outlawed them because they're fucking dangerous.
He just used it, and it was just efficient for him to take out as many people as he could.
Yeah, but he would have used an automatic rifle if it wasn't banned. But it's outlawed. It's very hard to find. It doesn't completely get rid of them, but it's very hard to get a full automatic rifle if you're not in a.
When I was in basic training, and I shot the M16 in the range, first time I'd ever shot a gun in my life.
Yeah,
they wouldn't let us use it in automatic.
Yeah,
like the bump stop makes it automatic.
Yeah. Right.
But we had to use it in just as fast as you could pull the trigger.
Right.
To me, that was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was fucking terrifying.
Just feeling
what you could do with that gun.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. The bullets are so fucked. If it went an inch, it's going to tear your muscles apart.
Yeah.
The shockwave
like a 50 caliber on top of a tank, if it were to pass by your arm, even 6 inches off, your arm's gone.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous, dude.
And it's people don't realize. It's not like Arnold. When the bullet hits you, it goes in here. It rips your fucking body.
It's like a hollow point.
The exit wound is actually usually what kills you because it goes in and then the exit wound expands.
Yeah, so it destroys you. So why do you need an AR? I used to work with a guy about 20 years ago that told maybe more. That told me, I don't care if I have a guided missile in my backyard. It's my American right to have it. I looked at the guy and said, you're fucking out of your mind. It's like, I got pissed. It's like, why would you think that that's what the Second Amendment said? If those people were around right now, they'd say, man, did we fuck up?
Yeah.
Because they never envisioned, like he said, a ball and a musket and a fuck. Yeah. They never envisioned a gun that if you pulled the trigger, you could kill everybody in this building in literally within 30 seconds.
Yeah, the belt. The dude from the Las Vegas had a belt fed just a bump stock. It was you could even hear it. Right when I first saw the video, I knew nothing about what was happening. I saw it live. I saw it in the news. It was happening live, and I went on my computer and I was like, just curiosity. I was like, I really want to see what's happening.
Yeah,
I probably shouldn't have because it's dehumanizing. But I went on and just by the sound alone, I was like, he has a full automatic rifle.
Yeah,
he has a full automatic rifle. I don't know how he got it, but he has one. And then you later find out, it was a bump stock that essentially makes it full automatic rifle. And then they outlawed
right?
They outlawed the bump stock, which I said, that's a great thing to do.
And people fought that.
People exactly, and it's like, how can you reason with the unreasonable? How can you reason with people say, dude, there has to be?
You know what it is?
Think about, dude, hollow points used to be legal. I mean, there's a lot of things that used to be legal that we outlawed.
It's the same people who say, we'll have guns. We're the good guys, though. It's those people.
Yeah, but that's the same people. You know what it is, though? And his dad's a cop, and your dad's a Trump guy. But it's the same people that fuck you, I don't want gun control, everything else. So only the bad guys will have guns. The bad guys already have guns far worse than the police.
Yes,
do you want these
it's
fucking
going back
people?
To the whole alcohol thing and making stuff. If there's a will, there's a way. People are going to get their hands on it in terms of drugs or anything. You know what I mean? People are going to, regardless if make it legal or not.
Right.
In terms of how lethal it's going to be. Coming to firearms, man. Somebody really wants it, man. But the whole thing with gun control is that it just makes it that much harder.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
But it's when they say gun control, these people have. You know what was really scary when the coronavirus first came out?
Ammunition.
Yeah, but you see how busy the gun stores were?
Yeah.
Ammunition sales.
It was the first thing. It was the first thing people went to, man.
There were lines out there, not to get toilet paper,
sad.
to get guns.
Yeah, that's sad. That's so sad.
It was unbelievable.
I just don't understand where people's minds are. I just don't understand.
Paranoia. My dad was paranoid. My dad, when he bought all his guns, I'm surprised he didn't put gun ports in the house. He thought that people were going to be crawling up the front lawn. He's going to be picking them off. I'm telling you right now, I'm not exaggerating.
Right.
I'm not exaggerating.
But I just wonder. I'm just trying to come to terms with it. Just trying to understand how people think like that. I'm trying to see it from their perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Fear, paranoia.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is too? I hate to say it. It's the big dick syndrome.
You're compensating.
If I got a big ass gun, I got a big dick.
Yeah.
I saw it on TV. These guys, these three fat guys were standing in Michigan, and they had AR-15s. They replaced the AR-15s with big dildos, and they're standing there holding big dicks.
I think I've seen that.
And the thing is that it's like, you know what it is? It's like, I hate to say it, but it's like, I've never wanted to, and I do think, I've told my wife this and my daughter this, that as I said, to lose your fear of shooting a gun. I haven't shot a gun in freaking years and years.
Yeah.
Go pistol range and shoot a pistol and get a permit.
Lose your fear of it.
But I would never want a pistol in my house.
Yeah. You don't need it.
I don't need it.
You're not a drug dealer.
But the whole point is that I look at this and it's like, these people that have these guns, it's like, why do you have these things. It's like
it's not. They only have one or two.
Yeah,
it's
but
like they have 15.
Yeah, but some people collect like my friend Lee. He collects old guns that his dad had.
Yeah,
I mean these were old guns.
Well, you could have done that essentially.
No, but and he has a $6,000 gun safe.
Right.
That he has all the shit and he keeps it in the safe.
Right.
And he has a carry permit and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he's a legal. You know something? A guy like that. God bless him.
Yeah.
He's what American gun owners should be.
Of course, man.
You've got guns there to protect your family.
Responsible, reasonable.
Exactly.
Like you said, protect your family or hunting. You know,
if you have
hunting rifle,
you know
bolt action rifle.
If I had a loaded gun in my glove compartment, legally able to carry,
right.
I'm not going to stick a fucking thing on my car saying I got a gun in my car.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like,
right.
You know what I mean?
And like the whole human the matter of how just the chance of how bad things can get if you're carrying, you know, for certain circumstances. Because some people are so fragile emotionally that if they're carrying, you know, there could be.
I mean, you can't. You know what I mean?
Like
we've said before, you can't. You know, you like when you have a gun permit, you can't just you get in an argument with someone, you can't just pull your gun out and say, well, what?
Yeah, right.
What are you going to do about it?
Right.
It's like
exactly.
No, you can't. Like,
we're
you
human.
can't be like that.
We're social beings. Like we're meant to resolve conflict, but conflict in a mutual way, where it's like, okay, you can disagree, but it's a verbal conflict.
Yeah.
And you know, even if it gets a tussling, you know, you're throwing a few shots.
But you see what they said? Overwhelming. If you have a loaded gun in your house, it's going to be used. You came home drunk, you had an argument with your wife, you shoot her.
Yeah.
Or one of these things.
Yeah.
I'm going to end it. Bang. Overwhelmingly sue for suicide or to kill somebody you know.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. So like people who are for like NRA people and stuff like that are it's the whole the statistic. So the argument goes, well, you know, the more susceptible you are of violence if there's a gun in the house, right? And then they'll say, well, a lot of that is suicide, but it's like, okay, still people are fucking ending their lives with a fucking gun, like regardless if you're shooting anybody else or yourself.
I mean, like, if that wasn't, you know, right there in front of them, like, would they still be alive? Like, who knows? I mean,
true. Yeah.
I mean, you could raise that argument.
You really want to end your life that bad? You really, really want to do it? You're gonna do it.
Look about the asshole though that get, like you said earlier in the conversation, much of you know, a half hour ago or something. Guy go home, gets drunk, and belts his wife, knocks her against the wall. Okay, the alternative is if you have a loaded gun, you get so pissed off. You found out your wife's been screwing around with your neighbor John.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Okay, yeah, I know. I hate that. I was pissed off enough when it was Joe. Never mind John. But the thing is, then you grab a loaded gun, you point it at her head, and you're dead drunk already.
Yeah.
And you kill her.
You don't have that filter.
There's no turning back.
Yeah.
You've shot her.
Yeah.
If you punch her, and I'm not justifying punching women.
Of course.
If you justify her, then you're an asshole, but she's not dead.
Yeah. Right.
And you go to jail, and you deserve to go to jail.
Of course.
But you know something? It's like.
But you can live to tell.
Exactly.
She can live to tell a tale.
That's
you
right.
can live. You can reflect on the situation, and understand where you went wrong.
But you get these people that drink a lot, and then they have a loaded gun somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like he said. You get pissed off, and somebody says, "Oh yeah," and you pull your like in Texas. There's a lot of states where you can carry.
Yeah.
I mean,
man.
I mean, like a fucking holster, like the Wild West.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in a bar with a guy.
And it doesn't even matter how reasonable you are in the conversation, in the conflict, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just who has the gun and who doesn't. You know. It's absurd, man, and I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells. I mean, I don't walk on eggshells now. You know, I'm not worried about people.
Hey,
especially like where we live, I'm not too worried about that.
I don't think you guys have. The three of us have nothing to worry about because I told you about. A friend of mine said. He said, you know, normally he told me, he said, Buck, you got nothing to worry about. You walk into a bar, if you're the biggest guy in the bar, there's always some assholes going to pick a fight with you. He's not going to pick a fight with a normal sized guy. It's the biggest guy in the bar because they want to show what the balls they got to pick on the biggest guy in the bar.
I just don't understand that. Like, what is that? What are you trying to solve? Where are you trying to get at?
But I mean, getting back to the gun thing, it's like I think it's pretty simple. It's like I've never owned a gun in my life, never will. But if you want to own 59,000 hunting guns and pistols and stuff like that for personal protection, God bless you.
Yep.
But you don't have to own a military weapon.
You don't have to. Yeah. And what do you think? Okay, so say you're paranoid somebody's going to be kicking down your door, right? We have the strongest military in the world. Don't you think they're kind of going to win over your little AR-15?
Well,
you know.
Okay, first of all, in the history of our country, we've never gone and taken somebody's guns ever, not once.
Yeah,
not once. And it's like you said, if somebody really wants to, like there was a guy in Andover or Bolton or something like that recently, where the guy had like 83 guns in the house, a couple of AR-15s.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, he had a record, so he shouldn't have owned them.
Right. Okay.
So the guy anyway. But anyway, it's like you said, it's like. If the government really wants to, they'll take a tank and just bulldoze your house and take your guns.
Right.
I work with a guy.
You're gonna stop him? Yeah.
I work with a guy, and he's a good guy. But he said to me one time, he says, you know the reason the Russians haven't attacked us yet? I said, why? He says, because we all own guns. I looked at him and said, you're kidding me. I said, so let me get this straight. I said, not the fact that we have tons of missiles with nuclear warheads on them, and so do they, so we have a standoff. I said, but you, kicking your bud cans out of the way, stumbling around in your boxer shorts with your fucking AR-15, pointed up in the air, it's like, that's scaring the Russians. Like that movie, there was a movie years ago with Patrick Swayze called Red Dawn, where a bunch of high school kids.
Seen it?
Yeah, a bunch of high school kids. You're kidding me, right? Is that what you've been watching? If the Russians wanted to kick our ass, or if we wanted to kick their ass, we could do it.
Right. Nowadays, it's just all nuclear war.
That's right.
It's fear of nuclear war. That's why conflict is settled as, okay, we shouldn't blow this out of proportion because of nuclear war, not because of we can't blow this out of proportion because every citizen has
the other
guns.
guy is not going to push the button.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, and that's not just going to stop a war. That's going to stop fucking humanity.
That's right.
If we just fucking keep it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's a flaunt. It's like a flaunt. It's like a poker face. Like, oh, we have guns and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, that's a pretty weak blanket. That okay.
It's almost like when somebody has a nice gun or something like that. It takes, like when I was a kid, I'll never get my dream unless I win the lottery. I always wanted a Corvette. I always wanted a Corvette.
Yeah.
That was it, man. Beautiful. I would have yanked it, got my Corvette. But it's like now it's almost like a gun has replaced that.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like you look at it and say, Jesus Christ, you know, it's like.
Well, some people will think there's going to be a civil war coming up with the election.
I know.
You know, let's be honest, okay? Who how do you feel about the election? What do you think is going to happen with the election? Just give me your honest opinion.
Well,
your honest opinion.
Right now, if it had to be now, I would. The problem is with Trump, he's doing everything he can to fuck himself over. He's saying the wrong things. This COVID thing he didn't ask for, but he made it much worse. He made it much worse by doing nothing for 2 months. So he doesn't want to admit that. Everybody else is to blame. I got it. But remember now, we elected a president that was a real estate guy and a reality TV show guy and inherited $400 million from his old man. He's worth about $2 billion now. It's like some guy said, if he would have just put the $400 million in regular stocks, he would have been worth more than that.
Yeah.
He's went bankrupt 5 times. His casinos have all gone under.
Oh, geez. I hope he doesn't see this.
No, but the whole I'm just saying. The whole point is, and you know what really bothers me? When people wave the American flag, I used to think Trump was a good guy, too. He used to be a fun guy. Yeah. All these Democrats, he don't donate money to him. What the fuck happened to the guy?
I think he's like a face, don't you think?
But the whole point is, when people have their American flags in the pickup trucks or something, they're all Trump guys and stuff. It's like, first of all, here's the guy that had 5 deferments with bone spurs to get out of Vietnam. His 2 kids, and I got nothing against this. His 2 kids had never been in the service. Kushner, his brother-in-law, never been in the service. His father was never. So it's like, if you've never been in the police force or the military or something like that, where you're putting your ass on the line, staring down maybe somebody that's going to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Why does everybody think he's the big patriot? I don't understand.
I think it's just like a face.
I agree. Dude, we've talked about this before, that we think, or you were saying that everybody should have some type of military experience, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's like Israel.
Because I mean, there's so many
different mandatory. After you graduate, you have to mandatory experience, like put yourself into military service.
You get 2 years, but then the government pays for your education.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah. You get a totally.
Hey, we're all fucking taxpayers.
Yeah.
You know something? I hate to say it. I don't want to whine and stuff. I'm a good citizen. I'm a good father. I try to be a good guy. The government owes me something.
Right.
They owe me fucking something. And you know something? If we had something like that, they would have paid for my college education, paid for yours, paid for whatever, your college education, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever you wanted to do, the government says, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
You want
there are places like that, but they're just not in the U.S., right?
They're not in the U.S. But the whole point is, it's like, and it's like some guy said one time, it's the old thing, skin in the game.
Yeah.
You have skin in the game. Now you know what it's all about. Now when you know when these guys
that perspective,
when these guys go overseas and we say, and we go to Memorial Day parades and we watch them and we think, I never went overseas and shot a gun. I never went to war like that. And it's just like I don't know what it is like. And it's like, good God, I couldn't imagine staring on the barrel of a gun. I couldn't imagine doing it. And so I don't give a shit where it is, in this country, overseas, whatever. So it's like when I see these guys, it's like maybe everybody should be like that. And figure out what this guy's going through.
Yeah. Without a doubt, man. How do you feel about that, Connie? You agree?
No, I mean, I completely agree. I also think there's a lot of things, a lot of trades in the military you can utilize.
Absolutely.
He's a product of it, honestly.
Yeah,
I went in the Air Force.
Yeah.
I learned how to work on radios on jet fighters. That's what I do today. I sell automation equipment based on that training.
Nice.
It wasn't college that did it for me. It was the military.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and you shouldn't have to.
I think a lot of people waste their trade, right? Like a lot of people waste something they're good at. People are good at something and they end up working for some IT department that's like, they could just be working for the military and making making use of their trade.
Yes,
and a lot of people don't.
Some people are just good with their hands in a certain way, and some people are.
I agree with you guys.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
So it is, but unfortunately in America you have to pay an arm and a leg for education and stuff like that, which is fucking absurd, man. Yeah. So he went to community college for what?
Proud college dropout.
So like what, half a semester? Or like
I went for a few months.
You must like MCC, right?
Hated it,
and it just wasn't for you.
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah, my brother my friends used to say he's the smartest guy without a college education or with it that they ever met.
Yeah,
my brother
very very book smart.
You could talk to my brother about any. Like I said, that's what was so ridiculous. He died to mention. And the thing is that I've come to the point where I'm so proud of his diploma and his sister's diploma up on the wall. But then when I look at him and take a step back, it's like, did they actually force you to do that in this country? I hate to say it like that.
Yes, they do.
But did they actually almost demean you if you don't have a college education?
Yes, they do.
I have a 2-year education. I have a 2-year education. You know something? I've done pretty fucking well with that education because in my business I know how to talk, and that's a nice talent I have.
Sales, yeah.
But the thing is that I look at people and he looks at his student loan he's got. His sister's got a big student loan.
It's essentially a burden a lot.
Yeah,
for a lot of people,
look at your life and how long it's going to take you to pay off that loan. Is it really going to be worth it? And it's like you're saying, it's like if you go into something you're really good at, if you enjoy it, what's the fucking point to go to college then?
And that's like going back to the old people who put their lives on the line for who want to build a business, right? Like some people who just haven't even gone to college. They know the ins and outs of a certain thing, right? Like say you want to like the restaurant industry, right? You haven't gone to college for a day in your life, but you know about the industry and stuff like that, right? And you just decide to open your own bar and stuff like that, and you can make it that way without even a college education. It's just in terms of experience and stuff like that, like a trade or something like that. It's completely valuable. It's completely financially valuable, and you don't need the college. The whole college is a business at the end of the day because you can go bankrupt, but you still have to pay it off.
Well, that's the thing. I got on Trump by going bankrupt 4 times. I went bankrupt.
Yeah,
and it's just like it's a second chance. The woman that wrote the Harry Potter, she's a billionaire now.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling, yeah.
Yeah, she went bankrupt 4 times.
Yeah.
Before she hit. That's in a capitalistic society that gives you the second chance. And it's like I had a second chance. I mean, so I can't really get on Trump for that because lots of businessmen have done that, and then they finally succeed. But the whole point is, it's like the college education thing to me is a sham. It really is. It's like because I've gotten to it like. Yeah, I got 2 years of college, and I work with guys that have 2 master's degrees. I make a lot more money than you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't.
Nowadays a lot of it is just like, oh, do you like they'll hire you? Do you have experience or not?
It's like where am I supposed to get this experience?
Yeah, how do you get experience?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So many people our age, Connor, especially I guarantee you, so many people our age can agree on this. It's like, how the fuck am I going to get this experience if where am I supposed to get it from?
Out your ass. Like you can't even. You got to work 6 jobs. Like you can't fucking finagle in your free time. You got to work. You got to work every job you have.
It's a badge. Having a diploma and going to college. It's a badge showing your discipline. It's showing your discipline. It shows your character that okay, I have the capability to do this work. I'm disciplined. I can get it done. Stuff like that. But you don't need college to do that, though.
Yeah.
It's that.
I will say,
it's a professional certification.
Since you guys did it, the proudest days of my life were when you and the sister graduated because I never did that. Yeah. My parents never did it.
Yeah.
My wife never did it.
It's a personal stepping stone for the family, but not everybody needs it, man. Without a doubt.
But you know something? No, that's the way this country works. Unfortunately,
it's a badge that it gives you an upper hand, but still, like you said though, in this country, if you have the capability and you have the willpower, you can get by without it.
You guys could sit here and think of an idea tonight, and 2 years from now. Be fucking rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean,
I think about it a lot. Me and my brother talk about this a lot, like starting our own business or something. Or
I mean, you know what? I find much more valuable is the human experience of like, okay, if you were to live in Europe and after your high school, it's taking that year off and like traveling and stuff like that. They pay for travel to experience like what the world is like, and instead of just going straight from high school into college, you don't even know what the fuck you want. You don't know you're headed from your ass. You're not even 21 yet. It's you're going in at 17, 18 years old. You're still growing as a human, man. Like I feel like you have to experience life and figure out what you.
That was the only good thing.
What you don't want to do, and figure out what you do want to do.
I went to service right out of high school because I would have flunked out of college. And when I came back, I was 23 years old going to school with 18-year-old kids. And I saw the maturity level. And it was like it was different.
Dude, 18-year-olds, man. Like, 18, I think 18 is just like it's way too young of an age to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. Unless you want to be a doctor, be a lawyer, something like that, something from an early age.
Both you guys, when I talked to him about being in high school, even though you guys are in your mid-20s, it's like, from where you are now to an 18-year-old is enormous maturity index.
Yeah.
You must look at an 18-year-old kid and say, holy shit.
And when I was 18, I thought I was like a 25-year-old. I'm like, I'm as mature as him. And then you get to our age, you're like, man, what was I doing when I was 18?
Not even close, man.
See, that's why I hate when I got to be a certain age, I hated as a parent deal. Back in my day, that's bullshit. Nobody wants, I hated that when my father used to give me that shit. Back in my day, bullshit. And it's just like, I never wanted to come off like that. Yeah. But you can't help but doing that sometimes when you're a parent, to try to relate experiences and see if they stick.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you guys, technology has taken off so fast, it's bypassed people like me in a lot of ways. I'm trying to hang on. And the thing is that, and that's my business too. And the thing is, I look at guys like you, it's like, man, you guys got so far to go here. It's like, what the fuck is it going to be like in 30 years?
Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe what we're talking about with robots will be true. I hate to think so. Hate to think so.
Man. It might be. I think about that a lot sometimes.
Dude, it's crazy, man. College it's like in this country, it's like a necessary evil.
Yeah, but you know what I hate? I love to think when I was your age, the next day was the most exciting part of my life was, and I love my wife, but between marriages, I thought when I got divorced, it's like my life is over, my life is over, my life is over.
Yeah, you live
in
a dream,
between marriage, I had the greatest time of my life.
Yeah,
and it was like you guys. I just hope it's for you guys. It's like for me, it was like what's happening next week. What's happening next month? Yeah. I never planned the year in advance. I didn't give a shit. I didn't care.
Never.
I always thought like, hey man, it's like, so-and-so is going to be on tour in December. That was my plan. You know what I mean? Like I was bummed when I grew up. The Doobie Brothers had to cancel their 50th anniversary tour, the same as the Deftones that you were going to go see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I used to look at stuff like that. I'm hoping that you guys have the same mindset and you can get away with that.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Because that makes life enjoyable. It really does. Yeah. It's like if you're not always like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Oh, what am I? You know what I mean? That's bullshit.
Right.
To me,
it's the whole human experience of experience.
I mean, everybody's got to make money. Everybody's got to know what everybody's got to do this. And I understand. I understand.
But you can't. You learn from experience, man. And college can only teach you so much experience.
I agree.
College can only go into class and learning through all these books and lessons and stuff like that. It can only do so much. You have to witness it firsthand.
Hey, a best friend of mine. He went and got a history degree from Central, worked for the post office all his career. Took the civil service test, took an early out when he was 62. He's got great benefits. He had a nice 401k. He's got a pension and all that shit. And he was a pain in the ass though. He's one of these guys who didn't want to work. So they give him a mail sack or something like that. He didn't want to do anything. He'd go hide in the bathroom.
You're not lazy like
him. Yeah. No, but the guy. No, but the guy he's a great guy. And it's just like, you know something? He hated every fucking year. He bitched to me about working at the post office. You know something? I told him, I said, man, look at you. You got great benefits. You got great medical. It's like they give you an early out. They did this.
You're living on Easy Street
now.
Yeah,
it's like look at you. You know? Here I am. I'm still fucking schlepping away at 69 years old. So, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
It's in America, college is a it's a necessary evil in a lot of ways, but it's great. We have a great education system, though. A lot of people, we have a very, very superior education system if you're capable of it and being able to.
People come from overseas that go to school.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you're able to put your foot in the door and you can, intellectually get it or financially, unfortunately, get it into the colleges that are very superior and stuff like that. We have a very superior education system, but it's a matter of willpower in terms of like intellect or if you have that financial fucking
You guys are far more mature than I was at your age. You guys are
Yale. You can get Yale.
When I was fresh out of high school, that was not, dude. I went into college and just like I said, the first few months I was just
you were bored.
I was just. Well, the thing is for college for me was like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
I took general studies, so it's like. I didn't have any path. It's like I didn't see a future. It's like what am I going to do with a general studies degree? Everybody I knew that had a general studies degree, they're all fucking jobless. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with
it? Why am I going to invest in this if I'm not going to get anything out of it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an investment. It's an investment for your education, for your future. That it's if you don't know what you want to do, why waste the time and money doing it?
I see how things paths change. When my dad came back from World War II and everything else, my dad told me a story. When he was a kid. They had the old washing machines when they had to dry the clothes, you had a wringer. It was two big rollers. he was a kid, stuck his finger up. It was his right hand. He was right-handed. And he got his middle finger like this.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. And so, but he could play guitar with it. He was a fucking great guitarist. So was my brother. And the thing is that he went to try out to be he passed the test to be a Hartford cop. He was ambidextrous. So he could fire the gun with his left hand. They turned him around because of his finger, because he was primarily right-handed.
Yeah.
That was a turning point in his life. Then he became a fucking shop rat at Pratt Whitney for the rest of his life till he keeled over at 49. He wanted to be a cop, and he wanted to be a cop so bad. He was driven.
Probably would have been a pretty good time.
No, but he just wanted to be a Hartford cop, and it's like he's like that's what he wanted to do because he was in the military and everything else, and he was heartbroken. And my mother said he never recovered.
Really?
And all he could do is he went and fucking got some shit factory job at Pratt Whitney, and
it's too bad, man.
That was
because of a fucking finger, dude. That is building off that. Some people have that passion, that drive for just something like a little niche, like a musician, something like that. Some people just once they find that flame, regardless of age, maybe when I'm 28 years old, you'll find that flame, and then you'll know.
Well, you guys have so much in front of you, man.
Right, it'll feel right. And college, I think, is like we're pressured to it. It's like I'm ashamed to say that.
They categorize you, and that's what he just said.
Yeah.
When Connor said he went there, General said, he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Because they try to categorize you, and then they narrow the box. Say you're going to do this.
Right. It's not. Yeah. I've gained, and still, when people say, if I'm going out, if I'm talking to somebody or going out on a date or something like that, and like, what'd you do? Like, I went to college, right? I got a bachelor's degree, right? And they're asking me like, okay, so what do you do now? I work in the restaurant industry. I've worked in restaurants all my life. I've had like 6, 7, or 8 jobs. They've all been in restaurants and stuff. I'm familiar with the experience and stuff like that, right? And so when people ask like, what do you plan on doing and stuff like that, and they're expecting an answer off of like occupation wise, like what do you plan on doing occupation wise? Exactly. I flip it and say, well, I'm looking to I'm looking at the personal experience. I'm looking to grow personally. I'm looking for personal experience and stuff like that. During the time of when I've graduated, I've traveled out west. I've gained the experience of doing things that I haven't done when I was pressured of just focusing and hitting the books in college and stuff like that. And I'm looking at, instead of occupational growth, I'm 25. I'm looking for just personal growth, like human growth, to figure out, okay, when I really do want to finally settle down and find something I'm truly passionate about, I want it to be like truly something that I really, really see myself doing, and it'll just feel right. And instead of being convinced, okay, I've graduated these classes, I've passed these classes, okay, I think I'm convinced, I got the degree, I'm convinced, like, okay, now I'm ready to do this. At 23 years old, it's like, no, fuck no. It's just not realistic. I don't see it's realistic.
I gotta say, when I finally found out what I wanted to do, when I was 35, and it's just like all of a sudden my income went from like this to this, and it's just like it's something I enjoy doing. It's not something when I was a little kid and said, boy, I really want to sell automation equipment, but it's like one of these things, like it makes me a living, and I'm good at it because I'm a good talker. And it's one of these things like, but I was 35. You guys are 25. 20, whatever. It's like you guys.
It's a whole decade, man.
It's like I can't. Yeah, but I can't. I don't care whether you're 40 or 45. If you find all of a sudden, this is what I want to fucking do.
Yeah. You'll find that like you can't go searching for it. Yeah. It'll find you.
That's why I've never tried to tell these guys you should be doing this. Yeah. I'll make suggestions, and that's all they can do. Yeah. But it's just like I don't want to. It's like he said. If him and his sister want to shovel shit, I don't care as long as they're happy. No, but as long as you're happy. Well, as long as you're happy.
Like, and you can also do what you want with your money, like you can also create the life you want with based on the money you make. Right. Your job might not be your dream job, but you can use the money that you make to do your hobbies that you like.
For example, this,
exactly. Just whatever you like.
This is so cool.
Well, no, and also with experience and just like finding out what you want to do or stuff like that, you also figure out what you don't want to do. It's like, okay, I've experienced that. Like I'm staying away from that. Like that is, it's all about. Well, that just goes from the day we're born to the day we pass is finding out our true passion.
And my last job was a general manager of a division, and I had to hire and fire guys. I've been fired, and it ain't pretty. And it's just like I had to do that to people with kids and stuff like that. And you know what I did? Brutal. I finally said, I ain't fucking doing this anymore.
Not for everybody, man. It's not for everybody.
And it's like, but some people enjoy that. They like that on the business card. Yeah, I mean, this is. I didn't give a shit.
Fuck that.
I like being a worker. I just want to be a worker bee. I just want to be a worker bee.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
could never do that.
Same here. I'm like that too. You know, because then you got to worry about the politics and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, that's
Nope.
that's really muggy
No
business.
thanks.
You know, some people are built like that though. Some people are very, very can work with people so well like that and be so casual with it.
But you guys
seem
should
so fluent.
Well, you guys should never think that life's closing in on you. Look at me. I'm 25, 26. It's like, yeah, look at you.
Right.
I wish I was where you are. I wish I was there. Not just because of the age, because the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
I mean, really.
No, it's you know, I mean, it's well, going back to the whole thing nowadays, do you think people are too sensitive to that? People are too sensitive to issues in regards to that?
I don't know. You know what? I know people that are really interested in where they are in the strata of life. Look at me, look at me, look at me. But then again, I work with people with women that are like have a position of power within a company I work for, but their husband is like a guy that has a regular job,
right? Yeah.
Like working in a restaurant,
right?
Or something else. It's like just has a regular job, and then they're ultimately wickedly happy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know something? I haven't come across a lot of people that are driven, that become a total asshole because they're driven.
Yeah.
I really haven't.
No.
So.
Right. I'm not sure like a megalomaniac.
There's nothing
like that, you know?
nothing wrong with being driven as long as you're a nice guy. But if you're driven and you're a fucking idiot, it's like you said about being a musician. If you have talent, I have zero talent to do anything artistic. But the thing is, I look at people. Now that's where I'm envious. Because he could play the drums, never did shit with it. His sister could play the guitar, never did shit with it. So that I thought to myself, I'm saying, if I could do what you guys were doing, I would have tried to do something with it. And of course, that's easy to say.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do shit.
Well, let's go off this now, okay? So we're both, you guys are watching, so both me and Connor here, we're both covered in tattoos, right? My father has some tattoos too. He actually got tattooed after me at 16 years old. I was
because he paid for some of them.
Yeah, so I got tattooed at 16 years old, and here my father is. Now he has some tattoos too. He's almost got a full fucking.
It's my
sleeve,
barcode,
essentially,
the card. That's their initial. So if they lay me out, that's going to be a barcode.
So look at this, right? We think Josh. So shout out to Josh. Josh August. He works at Pelican Tattoo in Hartford, Connecticut. He's our artist. He's our go-to artist. Look at a guy like that, right? So a guy is passionate. He's now he's kind of unemployed. He's landscaping. He's getting by though.
Yeah, but now they're going to let him go back to work now.
Right. But it's that whole drive. Think about how passionate he was, though. He had that passion at a young age. If you look at his legs, man, he's covered in. You've seen his legs, right? He's covered in tattoos. Did it all himself, man. That's a drive.
I'm going to say something though.
Like that.
You got to say the key word: artist. He's an artist,
and you can't teach art.
No.
You can teach art. Here's the thing, right? So you can be born to be a supreme artist. You pretty much have to be born with it. But art school, in a sense, where like art is a craft, like. There's craftsmanship behind it. So like you could tell bad art. I mean, when people say beauty is in the eye of the beholder and stuff, there's no such thing as bad art. Fuck that.
It's not true. You can look at music too, right?
Yes.
Most people will say like, oh, if you hear something like screeching tones, be like, doesn't sound good to me. It's just that it's like visually appealing to the eyes. Like, women or art. It's like it's art. Some things just are not appealing.
It's a craft. So like if you're to say somebody said like draw like a sphere with a shadow, it's something simple like that, right? You could tell the difference between a good one and a bad one based on the craftsmanship behind it. It's the same thing as like sports, so like a jump shot or something, right? So like the performance of like the mechanics behind it, you can teach those mechanics of like, okay, this is how you do it, this is how you perform it. It's the same thing with art. You can teach those mechanics of, okay, this is how you shade.
Can't teach the execution of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like but it's the drive behind it though. Like you have to have that drive and then utilize that power. Like that's what school is supposed to be. Like you're supposed to have that drive and then school gives you that power. It gives you that hand. Like, okay, like here we go. Like we're going to give you the tools to build for your potential. You know what I mean? So that's what schooling is fucking supposed to be for. You get passionate about something. You want to find out about something. It's like, okay, I want to go to school for engineering. You're passionate about it. It's like, okay, schooling is supposed to be here. Where your outlet, here's your tools. You just put forth your passion, your fuel and stuff like that. And I guarantee you, it's an investment essentially. You're investing not only your money, you're investing your time and your effort and your want to do something that you want to do in life. But going back to the whole Josh thing, it's like he was an artist. He was an art, and art is something that you can really, really teach. He didn't go to school or anything.
That's personal.
It's something he learned. Yeah, it's very personal. It's something he learned from. Personal, just trial and error, honestly, man. When he started off, guarantee it, well, I know for a fact he was extremely nervous, just being at a young age. He's like 30. He's like,
hey man, when you have a human
35,
canvas,
35,
I'd be
36.
nervous.
Yeah. And you know what? He comes off as so casual now because it's something, not only it's something I feel like he just feels so comfortable doing it, something he wants to do, but he's just going through that routine. It's just like he doesn't have to worry about that because he knows what he's doing feels right.
Yeah, I'm going to do the personal thing too. I'm guilty because of my age. I used to be very judgmental of people with tattoos.
Oh, man, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
people my age were judgmental because they look, this guy's a bum. I'm being honest with you guys. And the thing is,
hey, man, I remember.
You know when I started getting this stuff? When I saw my son, I looked and said, he's not a bum.
Yeah.
And they actually, when you guys have your sleeves done and stuff like this, it's like, it looks really, it's personal.
Yes.
And you know what? When I started to have this shit done, the people I work with and everything, I started to wear short sleeves purposely. I wouldn't cover up.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I wanted to see it. I'd have a tie on. Or I'd have a polo shirt and visit a customer. I never had one person tell me, hey, that really looks like shit. I'd have people say, where do you get your ink done?
Exactly.
Where do you get? You couldn't believe how many older people would ask me, where'd you get that done?
I've had people come up to me and say, and I've had like older generation come. A lot of people will, a lot of people like the first time they see me or something will ask me like, oh, older generation must give you so much shit. It's like, dude, honestly, not really. Honestly, a lot of older people will come up and say, oh, hey, like when I was younger, I always wanted to do something, but it wasn't acceptable.
Accepted. Yeah.
But now it's like acceptable. So it's like now that you see them again, they got sleeves. It's like that's fucking cool.
Well, there's like the whole thing like don't get them in certain areas, right? So I remember when I first got my first handpiece done, like my left hand.
Yeah, you got yours done before mine, and I saw how cool it looked.
Really?
And I'm like, and I was like, that looks.
He had that done before you.
Yeah, he had his hands
I had
done
tattoos.
before me.
Yeah,
you had the Celtics.
Yeah, I had all this Celtic work.
Yeah,
before you even your first tattoo, right?
I think so. You
had now you have more tattoos than me.
Yeah, because you had the half sleeve down. First, right?
Take your hat off for a second. Look at that. Like you can't really say it. Look
that's
all behind his head.
But isn't that the thing now? Remember the guy we went to see in Portland that did this? Didn't they have the head tattoos?
Yeah. Oh, it's a big thing now.
I just, dude, I don't know.
I just got
addicted
like, you know
to
what
it.
I mean?
I just got addicted to like the ritual.
It's a ritual.
Yeah, all of
Getting a tattoo, it's visual art, right? Like you have a tattoo, but what people who don't have tattoos, they don't understand the process behind it. It's the excitement behind it. It's like you remember exactly what happened when you got that tattoo. You remember what you were talking about with that artist. It's a whole personal experience.
It is personal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's an experience, and then it's a ritual. Right. It's the whole, the smell of the machine, the smell of the ink and everything. That's what drives you. It's the whole, and then you learn. Like now, it's like Josh is a good friend of mine. Now he's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've gained a valuable relationship off of this art. You know what I mean? And I remember.
Well, you got to give me like I told you, I want to get one more to complete it here. You got to tell me. You got to give me some pointers.
Yeah.
I want it to be very personal.
I got you. But I'm going back to the moral. I went off on a tangent, but going back to the moral of the story. When I was getting my hand done, right? It was a big step for me, man. Because I remember he always used to tell me, don't get anything on your hands. And don't get.
It's age, man.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's just generational difference.
They're just looking out for you.
That's just, exactly. That's just generation difference, and that's just how you saw things, right?
Of course.
But I mean, personally, I'm not going to get anything up here. It's all to the anyways.
Yeah.
So when I was getting this, I remember this was at the Edge in South Windsor. It was me, and then this guy's brother was sitting there, and like he was just watching me and stuff. I remember fishing up and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, like I was like so nervous to walk out and like go back home and stuff like that. I hid it from you that night and stuff like that. I remember that.
I've done that too.
I hid it, and I was like, because I was so worried. I wanted it, but I was like so worried and stuff about the perspective. And the whole perspective of like, oh God, I just want to like, let my dad down and stuff. And the guy was telling me, the guy who was sitting there, not the artist, but the guy who was just talking to me, he's like, you know what, there's people, when it comes to like a movement like tattoo art and stuff like that, it comes to people to take chances to do that.
The pioneers, dude.
It's the pioneers to take the chance and say, hey, I have this and I'm not a bad person. Yeah. And now it's gradually, you can see from the 60s or whenever, from the 50s or whatever to now, you can see the difference of these people. They're not bums. A lot of them, they're not bums. They're not,
Does
criminals.
your dad have any tattoos?
He has zero.
Yeah. Lots of cops have tattoos.
Yeah, he admitted to me when he was younger he wanted to get some, but he never. My entire family has zero. My mom has zero. My dad has zero. My brother has
crazy,
zero. Yeah,
right?
My brother's older than me. Zero.
It takes the pioneers, man, to just. It's just the leap of faith, just to take the chance. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it and see. And it's like, hey, the next day, the next week, it's like I wasn't a different person. I just had a tattoo.
I think some people get this idea of like, I need like the perfect something like perfect that.
Yeah.
exemplifies my life. Dude, sometimes you can just go in, get something. You and your tattoo artist are like shooting shit and having a good time. You can walk out and you're like, man, that was a good fucking day.
I remember we were in Oregon. We both got tattoos. So I got my chest done, and my father got the Oregon tree, which was on the Oregon license plate. They're known for that. And we were just hanging out, eating lunch, and I was like, we should get a tattoo and stuff like that. And we were like, blah blah blah, just looking on my phone. It's like, okay, there's this place that's like 20-minute walk from here. And I called them up. It's like, yeah, we're first come first serve. Boom, we're in the shop like 30 hours later getting tattoos, It's like we didn't put like too much thought into it, but it was the whole experience. It's like, hey, we're out west.
And his guy sucked and my guy was good. So.
Yeah, my guy sucked. Hey, we're not going to say names, though. We're not going to say names.
I remember you telling me about
that.
Yeah,
you can say his guy's name. I'm going to talk dirt about my guy. So. But, it's that whole experience. It's like we didn't need to fucking grudgingly put the thought behind it,
Nah.
And now, it's like maybe tell me you get compliments on it.
Those are some of the best tattoos, though. Because I remember
the on the whim ones.
I've had like one or two tattoos. I remember one specific tattoo that was like right before I actually got it on like the New Year. It was the New Year, and then like that night was just fucking just a shit show. But it was like with all my friends and everything. It was just fun. Like and like every time I see a tattoo, I remember that night. Like I remember that night. I remember
it's
like
essentially
I remember
a diary,
day
like
drinking at like 2:00 and then
going
going to their house. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like I see it every time, and I'm like, yes, dude. I remember
everybody has their meaningful tattoos and stuff like that, and then a lot of tattoos are just like a stepping stone to like somebody's diary.
It's so personal.
Yeah.
You guys have a library of them. Where you could say, I got this when. I got a few. I just want one more. But the whole point is like, I think it's like, that's why I proudly show them because I want people to know. It's like, hey, I like them. I like the term, the body art thing because it is fucking art.
Yes. Man.
And when you're talking about Josh, it's like, I could never, it's another thing I could never fucking do is go, no, but even if I was a really good artist, going up to somebody's body and saying, if you fuck up, it's for good. You can't erase it. I mean, how do you?
Well, think about how good of a salesman you have to be. Like, first of all, your art speaks for itself, but to deal with the verbal compliments or the verbal fucking disagreements that people have after they get like some artwork and stuff. Just imagine that. Just imagine putting with that stress. Putting up with that stress. You've seen Josh acting like you can tell he's just he knows his art's good. And it's like, okay, what are you gonna question it? Like, right?
Exactly. You need that though. You need
I just love the way he goes to work though. He has his music in the background. All set? Okay.
No, he had the mask on before this whole Corona thing on. He just he wore the mask just naturally,
I respect Josh as an artist, just as the sense that like, no bullshit. You go there. It's just like he'll draw it up right there. You like it or not? Then let's get started. You don't like it? Then we'll fucking throw it out. We'll do something else. Then you get started, and it's just clean work, and it's fucking quick. Like he's good. He's crisp, fast, man. Like
because have you ever not liked what he did originally? Like you've looked at.
I mean, like originally, like sometimes, but like and then I'll be like, oh, I think we should do this here with like this. He'll fucking draw it instantly.
Also, if you think like you've probably been in the same situation, like you'll come in with this idea, like, oh, I want to do this here. He'll look at it and be like,
no, that's stupid. Yeah, of course, dude. He's done
it. And a lot of good artists, I've heard that from not even just Josh, but like any reputable tattoo artist, especially if any reputable artist, but nonetheless tattoo artists, if it's fucking permanent, they're gonna be honest with you and say, I can't do that.
You have to.
I can't fucking do that.
That's fucking stupid. Don't do that. Do this.
You shouldn't just do it for the money because it's like, okay, you shouldn't be thinking in your mind, okay, if I do that, it's like a $300 piece. You got to be looking out for the client.
Do you have a tiny little script somewhere? You have like really small, people like the really small script.
Oh yeah, I have some of those.
You do? Okay.
Yep, I have some like up my arm. I got like little scripts like here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
No shit. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, I have like a range of everything. I have like realism. I have some
traditional.
Traditional.
Yep.
I have some just like I have a bunch of like different.
Is it normally like a template though? It's normally like it the guy draws the template first, prints it out?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I've had, majority are templates and stuff. A lot of the time. I've had like some stuff freehanded, which is incredible.
I've had like
one
freehand. That's
ridiculous,
insane.
man.
Yeah. That's so insane.
So I've had a guy just like magic marker. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Really? It was this piece. He just magic markered this gargoyle.
That's pretty good.
He's like, I'm just going to do this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a gargoyle. He just like...
Wait. Turn around a little bit more. Like... Oh shit! Dude, I've never even noticed that one.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever even noticed that.
Yeah, so he just like I remember this. It was Steve.
So
he worked in South Windsor at the Edge.
Oh,
I don't know
Steve,
if he's there.
with the grenade on his neck, the bird with the grenade.
Yes, yeah.
I've been to him, dude. Yes. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's
an awesome
he
did
artist.
all this and stuff like that. He's this great tone.
Awesome
and Yeah, he's like, instead of putting stencil, I'm just gonna kind of like I remember we were smoking outside, we were just smoking cigarettes, and he's like looking at my arm, he's like, yeah, I'll just kind of like throw some magic marker on it, you know. I'm like, all right, so I kind of like trust this guy, you know, and so like I just took the leap. I was like, okay, you know, I'll just do it. I trust you.
The only guy that fucked up was that fucking first guy.
Oh, the guy in my back, yeah. But hey, you know what? That's all experience.
Well, where'd you go for that one? You went to
I went to the Edge. I went to this older guy, and you know what? If that never happened, I would have never met Josh. I would have never met Josh. That
cover up.
Yes.
Not even the cover up alone, just the tattoo alone is probably the best I've ever fucking seen, dude.
The one on
the back?
And not even not even as a cover up, just like if I saw a tattoo back, that's fucking.
That was Josh's first tattoo for you? The back?
And it was a cover up.
Yeah, he started
that thing is amazing.
Yeah, that's how I met Josh. So essentially, it's like a blessing in disguise. If that guy didn't butcher my back, that shitty ass piece, man.
You've never met Josh.
Never met Josh. Man.
So where else have you been besides Josh?
I've been to a lot of places actually. I've been to.
Where was your first?
My first tattoo was at Nautilus.
Okay, that's in Newington.
Yeah. Okay. It was like an older like German dude. Okay. Fucking amazing. Yeah. He was an amazing artist, but you know, I just like I kind of bounced around a little bit, just kind of like. I kind of like these. Like I went to Steve before. He got the grenade and the bird on his neck. Awesome artist.
I totally forgot about that.
He moved away.
He's a cool guy.
He moved. I forget where he moved to. And then he hasn't worked there for years and years and years.
Right.
Because I remember, like, I was like, I was gonna get another tattoo from him eventually, and they're like, he doesn't work here anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
They're all freelancers, man.
Yeah, no,
so he moved away. And
then about Josh, he's loyal to Pelican at least.
Yeah, and then I remember, like, right when I met Josh, first tattoo he ever did, I'm like, dude. Somebody else could do that tattoo in like 6 hours. He did it in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what he says.
Fucking clean.
Have you seen the two that Shelby has?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he has.
She went to where'd she go?
She goes to Eminence. Right.
Eminence.
Yeah, Eminence.
And she got the pony and stuff. It was like he looked at him and said, "Josh could have done that in half the time."
Absolutely, but actually, the work came out. No. You know, I'm not throwing dirt on Eminence at all.
No, it looked good. It looks good.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of artists, I feel like, unfortunately, took advantage of like newcomers and stuff like that, instead, because then they go off time frame.
Yeah. Every time I go to him, man, like I respect him as an artist. Like I'll always tip really well. And it's like, I mean, some people just don't do that. You know, like, people.
Unfortunately, man, they don't see that. They don't see that side of what
like you have. Like it's like,
he deserves a tip, man.
Yeah.
Fucking does stuff that we can't do.
Dude, I know, and it's like.
Hey, that's a ballsy trade though, man, because you got no.
Yeah, but just imagine, like you said, the people that do bitch. If you put something and you wanted the Behringer tattoo and he does it perfectly and you bitch, what kind of an asshole are you? You fucking wanted this.
Special kind of asshole.
Well, some people have like this idea of like what they want. You know, it's like, oh, this is exactly what I do, and it's like. That's not like really like possible. And they'll be like, well, you're just like a bad artist or something.
Yeah,
and it's
right,
like, no, it's like, no, like you're like you said before, like, no, your idea is just fucking stupid. Like do this like here instead of here, and maybe put some this here.
Like I've had ideas where I think they're going to be brilliant ideas. It's like I know I want it. It's going to look so good, and the guy's like, no, it's going to look fucking stupid.
Like you said about Josh, he'll just be like, he'll just look at me like. That's fucking stupid. Yeah, that's what I respect.
I remember when they got my owl. Yeah, we were like,
I remember that. Well, like I was there too, and I was helping him pick it out, and I was just like. When me and Josh were just like, no, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
like,
you know, you gotta get that perspective of it. You need the perspective from an artist. You know,
it's exactly.
To finish up, gentlemen, and shout out to Barstool Sports for sponsoring not sponsoring. I wish they fucking sponsored. I fucking wish so. I hope so. But we're closing out with the Answer the Internet. It's pretty hot topic games, good party games, stuff like that. We're gonna close out with answering the internet. So the first question is, if your TV remote didn't work and you were sick and couldn't get up all day, what channel would you put on for the entire day?
What channel?
Yeah, what channel?
If I was sick?
Yeah, what channel could you just leave on the entire day? For me, it'd be ESPN.
Yeah, same.
ESPN. You're not a big sports dude, so.
I'm not like, I mean.
What would you do, like History Channel or something? Food Network?
I'm not big on TV in general. I'm not big on. I don't
watch
almost any TV.
I know, really good.
I watch a lot of like. I watch like podcasts every now and then. I watch like, you know. I don't really watch almost.
TV. Yeah, honestly, I don't
can't
watch TV
honestly,
for, like,
dude.
the news and stuff.
I haven't had. I'll be honest. I haven't had cable in over a year, and I have not. I mean, I watch like Netflix and all that, but like, I haven't had cable on my TV in a year plus, and I've never once wanted it.
You don't miss a damn thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I have the AT&T stuff like that. It's like I don't. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. So I have to agree.
All right. Next question. Your girlfriend keeps nagging you. What's new, right? Your girlfriend keeps nagging you to get healthy and go to the gym with her. Would you lose a few pounds or break up with her?
Break up with her.
Really?
Because I realize that's
Are you serious?
part of her personality.
Really?
Absolutely.
You think?
No,
well, it depends. If I'm 50 pounds overweight, that's different. But.
All right. Okay.
I mean,
wow.
no, like I mean, the you know. that matters. You know, it's like, am I like morbidly obese? Like,
yeah.
If I'm morbidly obese and she's saying it out of love, that's different. Hey, like go to the gym and get in shape because I want to, I want to fucking be married to you in 10 years, not have you in the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like, that matters.
I think
but it also like your father said, is like, if she's gonna be that way, I don't fucking want you in my life.
Right.
Yeah,
because she's naggy about something else.
It's like a woman who dates you for your car,
Oh yeah.
Hey, I went out with one of those.
Oh, I know, man. It's
78 Camaro, and I got to drive it.
It shows the shallowness, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, where's the longevity in that?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Do you think the president jerks off in the Oval Office? I think
Probably.
fucking Trump.
What do you think Trump does?
Do you think Trump does that?
I'm not a Trump supporter.
Trump does that?
I think he does.
I don't think he can find it.
Ooh, damn. Shots fired.
I'm only kidding.
Shots fired.
This is what I mean, though. Let me do a 10-second. This guy, I always thought he was a nice guy. He went out with beautiful women. He was a good guy. I don't know what the fuck happened, but hey, that's between him and whoever the fuck created this. So.
Oh man, this one's brutal. This is good. This is bad, man. Jesus, Barstool. All right, would you rather kill 25 kittens in a row or one dog?
Oh, jeez.
25 kittens?
Yeah, I'll take the kittens, man. I love dogs.
I want neither.
Yeah, really.
Of course I would pick neither, but I'll take.
I don't even like killing mice.
You kill 25 kittens over one dog.
Yes.
I couldn't do it.
Know about that.
I have to beg off of that one.
Is the dog an asshole?
You just gotta answer.
Is the dog an asshole? Like, does he bite?
Okay, if the dog is Cujo, I'll kill the fucking dog.
Yeah, right.
Is the dog a fucking dick? Just tell me the dog's a dick. Make it easier
and I
for
see
me.
all perspective. I just do it because for the sake I love dogs and I don't like cats. So but I mean, no. Hey, maybe the cats are little sweethearts, and maybe I am fucking fighting Cujo. So I don't know, man. Would you rather be bald at age 20 or 5'3" with a head full of hair?
Bald at age 20.
100%.
Yeah, probably because then I could just I'll just get a full head tattoo. You know what I do? I would get a head tattoo of hair on my head.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah, some people do that.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's.
Although two of the greatest guitarists you ever saw are 5'2", so.
It's true, but I mean, I don't know, man. I think, yeah, that is true, man. It depends. But with the talent, like, I don't have the talent to be a musician like that, so it's like I would.
Yeah, if I had talent, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, you know what? Give me that hair, baby.
Yeah, really.
And I don't have the best facial structure or head shape for like a bald head, but
you could pull off a bald head. I've seen you with short hair. It looks good on you.
White guys suffer when they're younger, though. Black guys look better with bald heads.
Yeah, they
that's
do.
true.
I agree
that is a good point.
Black guys, they just have
that's not even racist. That's like a good point.
Yeah, no, it's typical.
But I just look at hair as like such an inconvenience. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I just like have, but you know what? Everything we do is to attract women. You know, the jobs we have and cars we buy and stuff.
Just go into Walgreens or CVS sometime. If you go into where the men's grooming stuff is, there's a shitload of stuff for bald heads now.
Yeah,
you see all this stuff.
I mean, being bald is normal, man.
Yeah, it
there's
is.
so many people that are bald. Like, I'm fortunate to have decent hairline and all that. But my mom's father, and they always say that's how you're gonna turn out. He was bald when he was like 25.
But skips a generation.
Yeah, so it's like he was bald when he was 25. So
yeah, but if you're not showing a receding hairline or anything by now, you're not gonna have
my hairline's not really even budging.
No.
All right. Would you rather get stuck at a red light every time for the rest of your life or become a loaf of bread for 24 hours once a year?
Stuck at a red light. No, stuck at a red light forever?
Stuck at a red light every time you approach an intersection.
What's the loaf of bread?
Or become a loaf of bread for 24 hours once a year.
Oh.
24 hours though?
I could become a loaf of bread as long as
what happens to loaf of bread? Do you get
I don't know, man.
As long as the 24 kittens that you were going to kill don't show up and want to fucking chew them.
Man, I just said that because
Brendan would have killed them all. Brendan would have killed them all. It's all fine.
Yeah,
they're all good.
That's right.
Bread's fine. Brendan would kill all the kittens.
It's a sourdough bread or rye.
Jeez.
Am I gonna become cannibalistic and start to eat myself?
Would you rather wear cargo shorts every day or no socks ever again?
Wait, so say it again.
Would you rather wear cargo shorts every day or no socks again? I can't deal with no socks, man.
I mean, what about when it's like winter?
Depends where you. Yeah, but if you live in Florida, you could wear your.
Yeah, exactly. If I live in Florida, fuck the socks.
Yeah, really. Or you could wear cargo shorts. So in Florida, it depends where you live.
You know how bad it is, man. We're talking here. That'd be here.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
Cargo shorts.
Give me the cargo shorts. Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have a pet? Would you rather have your pet have a dog's personality in a cat body or a cat's personality in a dog body? Definitely a dog's personality in a cat body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a little lap dog.
The personality is why you have a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
That is very, very extreme.
I had a cat with a dog's personality too.
Was Barney, right?
No, it was Benny.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some cats that's the thing about
Cats are
man.
independent.
Yeah, they are very.
Dogs are
independent.
very like
They're-
social.
Yeah, they're pack animals. You know, like you're part of the pack. Like if
Yeah.
you're part of the family. All right. All right. Let's get just a couple more in here. Would you rather have a chef, masseuse, or chauffeur for the rest of your life? Chef.
Wait, say it again.
A chef, masseuse, or a chauffeur for the rest of your
What
life?
does a masseuse look like? See, it's
Oh,
not saying-
Jesus
Exactly,
Christ.
yeah.
Okay, let's say she's a knockout.
Okay, if the masseuse is Beyonce, I'll take the fucking masseuse
Yeah.
any day.
That's a good question.
Exactly.
You gotta
It
take.
matters.
What about a chef though, dude? Dude, a chef?
Yeah, but what if the chef is some big fat guy?
Yeah. What
do
if you have
care?
what if you have a hot chef though?
Well, it's different. That makes
Yeah.
the whole question different.
Okay, okay. Let's put it in perspective. Say they're all attractive.
Masseuse.
Masseuse?
Yeah.
This is a tough, dude.
you
I
kidding
feel. Yeah, but you've never been to a masseuse though.
Because you're probably gonna find one that looks like Beyonce. That's why.
They probably all look like us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
It's just Brennan there.
I love food, so I'm gonna say chef, man.
How can you? You think you should weigh 380? You say you love food.
Dude, yeah, but
You
it's
like
still-
vegan food.
Yeah.
Are you a vegan?
No.
okay.
I love meat far too much to be a vegan.
No,
I'll pick chef,
love
man.
meat.
Donovan. That's an Irish name, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Very Irish.
Dude, I would-
Irish Italian, like
Yeah.
almost like
Oh, okay.
pretty much strictly. Like
Yeah.
I got the
Italian.
Italian look. My brother got the straight Irish look, but very just Irish Italian, like pretty much only. Well, we have a little bit of German, but
Cool.
mostly Irish.
Good.
That's pretty much our family. Except
Yeah.
Besides the Italian, we're very British.
Yeah.
British and Irish.
One
yeah.
more. One more.
Okay.
Come
Yeah,
on.
one more.
Pick a good one.
I know.
Pick
No
one-
dead
pick a good one.
kittens.
All right. If you have one free throw, and if you make it, you get $1 million. But if you miss, you never get to text again. Would you shoot it?
Wait, what? So who is the person? It didn't say that.
No, like you can never get to text again in general.
Oh,
Okay,
never
so
get
if you
a
make it, you
text
get $1 million. But if you miss it,
You can't text. I would shoot.
I never used to
I'll
text.
just call everybody.
I haven't
God,
told-
yeah, that was a bad question.
I haven't texted
Call
most of my life.
For the people who said I
got
would rather
$1
I
million?
wouldn't shoot the
Like,
ball. Yeah, for the people
I'm
who said
going for
wouldn't
that
shoot-
$1 million.
Dude, some people
Yeah.
are probably
If
out
I don't,
there
I'm
saying,
sending
like,
a carrier
oh God, I
pigeon to
couldn't
your
fucking
house.
text. Are you kidding me?
I'm going for that $1 million. Yo, Brennan, if you get my next text by a carrier pigeon, you
Yeah,
know
really.
what happened. A pigeon at your door
on.
with a note from me.
I've lived most of my life without texting. I don't give a shit. But I don't have $1 million, so I'll take it.
All right, this will be the last one. Okay.
Okay.
Last one. Would you rather give up appetizers or desserts for life? I don't.
Desserts.
Really?
I'll give it
Yeah.
appetizers every time.
I gave up desserts, man.
Really?
Really, I'm
What?
surprised with you. He is the biggest sweet tooth.
No,
dude,
I like French onion soup and all that shit.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I come from a family of cops. I'm a donut man. I
Really?
murder donuts.
Really?
I love.
I can't
donuts.
tell by because you don't have an ounce of fat on
I
you.
love donuts though.
Dude, he used to be pretty. You used to be pretty hefty, right?
In high school,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
in
were?
high school,
I don't
I
remember.
was
Like over
I think
200,
the peak of like my weight was like I was like 225.
Yeah, man.
Really?
He's,
220,
yeah, no offense.
What do you
yeah,
weigh
you're
now?
a pudgy kid.
What do you weigh now?
I'm like 155 right now.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
156.
How tall are
Yeah.
you? Like
Like 5'10".
Yeah.
-ish.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Couple
inches
when I was
taller
like,
than
me, yeah.
when I was when I was 14, actually when I was 13 and 14, I was like I think when I was 13 I was 225.
why'd you lose it? How'd you lose it?
I think high school was like.
But how you?
But how did you do it?
You just counting calories,
Just-
right?
Dude, just my dad helped me. My dad's very like my dad's gone to the gym religiously his entire life. He's he was like a bodybuilder for a while. Like he's fucking huge.
Wow.
He's just like a very
In '69, I was 200 pounds, and
It's all about that Tab soda.
I went. Yeah, I bloated myself at Tab as a first Diet Coke. I went in the service. I lost 50 pounds in basic training.
Really?
Never gained it back.
Dude, everybody has that like little vice that works
Wow.
out for them when it comes to diet.
Wow,
you
good
know?
for you, man. I couldn't imagine you with 220.
I actually lost. Well, I lost 45 pounds in 2 months in summer. So it was summer
Jesus.
from junior year of high school.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember in junior year of high school, but like I was like still up there. I was like I lost like a little bit. I was like probably like 215.
Yeah.
And then like right when I came back to senior year, because like right on when summer started, I went to my dad. I'm like I need some fucking help. Like I need to fucking lose something.
Yeah, you just felt
And then
uncomfortable.
like right like that
Yeah.
whole summer, like 2 months. I think
You
I was
helped out?
I was 165, 170 when I came back to high school.
yeah.
Couldn't even tell it was me. It was like I
Wow.
lost like fucking like
That's
50
amazing.
pounds. Like
It
I
helps
woke.
with
So
everything,
my
man. It helps with
routine
your
was like
confidence
I
and
woke up.
everything, you know?
I woke up at like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
Went for a run. Went for another run at 12 o'clock. I would eat like I kind of counted my calories and all that, just like what I was eating and like what my weight was and like all that.
Jesus.
And then I would like work out like like later on. So I would do like a run, then a workout every single day. Every single day. I remember one day I woke up. I fucking walked outside, just puked on my driveway.
Oh, jeez.
I walked back inside and got back on the treadmill. I was like, I'm still going. Like, I'm going to get back on the treadmill.
Good for you, though, keeping the passion up.
Yeah,
So,
no shit.
Got back on the treadmill and kept going.
Lots of people would have given up, man.
Yeah. I was just.
For you.
Here's the
tired
thing,
of it.
though, man. If like my 600-pound life, if I got to like 400 pounds, I remember you asking me this one time. If you asked me, like, what would you do if you were 400 pounds?
Keep going?
I would keep going, man.
I don't know about that. I feel like the human willpower is always just like.
Yeah, but my willpower to eat would be more than to work it out at that point.
No.
I would be like, you know what, my willpower to eat 10
But
Big
then
Macs
again,
is better.
these people start crying when they're 600 pounds. When you got to be 300, didn't you see you had a problem?
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's true.
So,
for me, it was like I would never get to that point,
you know.
Yeah, I got to that point of like 2, which is like, you know, I was big, but I wasn't like more.
You look great right now, Jesus.
Like, I wasn't like massive, but it's like, you know, when I got to that point,
you were uncomfortable.
I realized it. Like I remember, you know, just like girls joking, like, oh, like you're fucking fat, all that, and it's like, you know,
then it hit you. It hit a nerve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it hit that
I like would look at myself and be like, you know what, like they're like, I get it, like they're being dicks and love, but it's like you look at yourself and you're like, you know what, they're fucking right. Like
a lot of things we do are for women, man.
That's the thing.
Exactly.
A girl was out on a golf course, and this friend of mine told me, he says, one time he says, yeah, so and so. I thought she was cute. He said, she asked, who's that guy out there with the thick body?
Ooh,
that was me.
God,
so
dude,
right.
Dude, that will get you into shape real quick, man.
Right. Thick body, that means you're fat. That's a nice way of saying you're fat.
Right. Oh, dude, that'll put your ass in line real quick. You know, that's why we need women, for them to say shit like that. So it's like, you know, we can't look at the mirror and say something and think like that, you know, if we're that weight. You know? We need that perspective, you know?
It's true.
Of course, if you won that $1 million shooting the free throw shot, they wouldn't give a fuck if you did weigh 300. They don't care.
Yeah, so, I know, really. Jesus Christ. Yeah, as long as your wallet weighs 300. So, hey, this is, we reached a little over 2 hours now, guys. It's been quite a pleasure, gentlemen. We're closing it up.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
this was great.
You guys all have a good night out there. Okay?
We've solved all the world problems. Take care.